Savage. What's going on, Savages? Welcome to another episode of the Savage Snowflake podcast with me, Papa Jeff, your son, your father, your lecturer, your listener, your diligent student, your omnipotent being. Whatever you need me to be, I'm here to do it for you. Thank you very much for joining me for another episode. Excuse the curtain in the background. As a man who suffers from OCD, this is desperately frustrating to me. I could hold my arm there the entirety of this intro just to make sure it doesn't look out. There we go. Perfect. Now you'll never know what's going on. But thank you very much for joining me for another episode. Listen, if you are supporting us on Patreon, I love you very much, very dearly. Here, of course, is Mr. Dan Lloyd, who's a savage. He's doing a whole $35 a month patronage. What a legend. But you can do as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/SavageSnowflake. The link is on the bottom if you're watching this in YouTube video format. And thank you very much to the 50,000 odd unique listeners. Not that you're odd, although I don't mind if you are. We're all a little bit odd here. But thank you very much for tuning in to every episode. Again, apologies for the missing week when I was away working, but you've had the episode with Doug Cockle, aka Geralt of Rivia. He's just done the last episode, and today I've got a special guest lined up for you as well. Before I do that, introducing him, I'd like to thank our sponsors over here, manscaped.com, refining the gentleman. If, like me, you've got a nice hairy belly and it looks really embarrassing when you jizz upon it and you have to mop it up with a damp cloth and you go, why do I look like creepy spiders are crawling across my love region? Don't worry about that anymore. Go to manscaped.com, grab the Lawnmower 2.0, bzz, bzz, bzz. As long as you go with the hairline, you're never going to have a nick, no cuts. It's got SkinSafe Technology. It's an incredible piece of kit. It's very easy, very reasonably priced. And to add a little incentive, if you use code SAVAGE at manscaped.com, you'll get 25% off, or 20% off, sorry, their wonderful items. You'll also get a free travel bag, leather, wonderful, it's worth at least $50. And then you'll also get free shipping on every order. So enjoy that. That's my gift to you. And over here we've got Boundless Tech, the finest purveyors of smoking and vaping technology. If you don't like those carcinogens you get when you burn your flour or your dab or your oil or your resin, fear not, my friends. Just go to Boundless Tech, bndlstech.com, use code SAVAGE. You get 25% off all of their wonderful kit, and you won't get a free travel bag, but that's all right. You'll be too high to even know what's going on. All right, there we go. Joining me today, my wonderful guest, just rearranging her hair, putting a little zhuzh in there.
Catch me?
I caught you, just the tail end of it, or I looked over as you were doing it. I like that we're both wearing the shortest shorts ever. No, this is like, look at this. Look at all the thighs. There, all the thighs.
I just came from my exercise class.
You just came from an exercise class?
My Barry's boot camp class.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Barry's boot camp.
Yeah, it's right by us.
We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about that in a second.
We should go together.
Mr. Max Jenkins, you may see him right now starring on Dead to Me, which is on Netflix, starring Christina Applegate and, of course, Linda Cardellini, and also the real star of the show, you, obviously Max Jenkins.
I'm also an ambassador for manscaped.com.
So are you really?
No, I'm not.
I wish we could be.
We're
after
in talks.
This.
We're talking about it.
Do you trim? Do you manscape?
You know, I never have, and I have like a weird pride in it. I don't know. I feel like once I break that,
I'm super surprised by that because first of all, I mean, like, I hope you don't mind me outing you, but you're a homosexual gentleman.
I'm not out, but I am.
Oh, well, you are now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Max Jenkins' parents.
No, me and Manscaped.com are actually going to do a rollout of my sexuality. We're hopefully going to pitch a few covers.
You could have got a better price than what I'm paying you for this podcast appearance. Nothing, absolutely nothing.
No,
cup of tea.
You got my
parking. There you go. I paid for the parking. Yeah. But here's the deal. As a gay man, I thought manscaping, like the gay community are famed for wonderful self-presentation.
I get so many compliments on the bush, though.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, love the bush. Love that you don't shave. Love that you don't.
Is this like a going back to the like ladies having a nice bit of bush now? Men are into that. It's like,
it's just unexpected.
Really?
It's like how you're considering sucking dick.
Yeah.
Sorry, we were talking earlier.
How much bush are we talking about? Is this like a minimal amount?
I mean, you can't see it right now, so it can't be that bad, right? Like, you know, I'm literally...
Yeah, I mean, you're not a very hairy guy.
It's not like blossoming out the sides.
But down there, are we talking like, is it like a nestling?
Well, that's the thing.
Like
if anything,
I
would like to make it kind of rounder, maybe, ideally.
You like topiary?
Yeah. Yeah,
you could use the lawnmower for that.
Yeah, just a hedge.
Yeah? Like a dinosaur shape or something like that.
Like a Maltese, you know.
Wouldn't it be beautiful if when a gentleman that you're interested in pulls down your pants to reveal what lies beneath, there's just like the topiary of your pubic hair is shaped like a Venus flytrap at top and bottom.
Exactly.
And the penis looks like some kind of giant insect that's been caught within the Venus flytrap.
I guess that's sort of it's the center. It's the centerpiece. I have to think about what shape I would want geometrically.
Took us 5 minutes to talk about each other's testicles.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well,
we haven't even discussed your
bush. It was my sponsor's fault. Well, I don't have any bush anymore. I keep a little bit at the top just to remind, the people that I'm a man.
You can grow it.
Yeah, like, look, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Despite the micro dick, I'm definitely an adult. I promise you.
So you enjoy it?
What, having a bit of bush?
Or having not much?
I like being clean.
Yeah.
And like hygienic.
I can see why I would get into it.
Butthole. I like having a smooth butthole.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's my number one.
I'm not as turned on by a smooth one. I'm sorry.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I don't know. There's something I love about just a
little man
furriness.
hair in there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Wow. That's interesting to hear because I think that, but also, no, it's not. That makes perfect sense because you're attracted to men.
Right.
And men are hairy and they're masculine and they have a little hair and that's a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm attracted to women. So I like the sensual nature of something smooth.
Even though I've heard that they grow butthole hair as well.
Some girls have quite a bit of butthole hair.
Right.
I've definitely dug deep before and found, nothing but
you've gotten to the
pubis
point where they have some.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, this shouldn't go this far around the back, surely. But that's what happens when you date Iranian women.
It's true. Yeah. And I can only imagine the bush involved.
I once dated an Indian girl who had sideburns, she had little furry sideburns, and they were kind of adorable. At first I was a bit like, ugh, but then after being intimate with her for a while, I grew to love the little pointy sideburn hair.
The popular girls would make fun of girls' sideburns in high school, I remember.
Really?
But I didn't think it was that offensive. And what are they called in Hasidic? Sort of payas?
What, the curly ones, Hasidic Jewish people have?
I think it's payas.
Payas?
Yeah.
Something to grab onto, isn't it? When you're...
No, I think they're sexy.
I guess I've just lost all of my Hasidic Jewish listeners now.
Good night. No, I'd like to date a Hasidic man, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Because they've escaped from the community.
And they're the chosen people as well, so they'll carry. I mean, you're Jewish.
Yes, I am.
So you're already halfway there.
Yes.
You're like culturally
so I guess
Jewish.
I'm a quarter of the way there.
Exactly. But if you start fucking a Hasidic Jewish guy, first of all, probably going to cause him a few problems within the community.
Sure. Well, ideally, he's escaped at this point. Once he started dating me. But then he has
a
new lease on life. So he still has the
sideburns, the payas, but he doesn't have the hat anymore.
No hat. And he's really passionate. And he's probably he just fucks like an insane person because he's so happy.
30 years of not getting to do it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden.
Did you see the lesbian Hasidic movie?
No.
Rachel Weisz and Rachel McAdams. You don't know about this?
Are either one of them Jewish? Rachel Weisz must be. That sounds like
I think she might be Jewish.
Name or something.
I don't know about McAdams, but in any case, they have sex and they spit in each other's mouths. It's fucking dope.
What's the film called?
Disobedience.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Disobedience.
Oh, it's so naughty. So you're on a huge show right now. Congratulations.
Well, I don't think of it as a huge show. I think of it as a kind of little tiny thing that people love.
Okay.
You know?
Why? Is that because you're an actor and you have to constantly shit on your own achievements?
No, I'm not shitting on it. It's like a Netflix show. They have fucking 10 billion shows.
Yeah, but Netflix now. Well, first of all, no, but come on. I mean, it's you're the crew. The cast are
true. No, you're so right.
Big names.
Just by virtue of the cast, it's like a thing. I know, but it felt very kind of bare bones, and it felt like just like a very kind of chill little set.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Is that because of the people that are creating it made it feel that way, or is it because Netflix money? Maybe they don't have the same kind of budgets if it is like a huge studio doing it.
Yeah,
Netflix
maybe it's
likes
that.
to save money,
the personalities for sure were very kind of sweet and easy and reasonable Los Feliz people.
Can we talk about Linda Cardellini correctly? Because
can we never stop?
Yeah,
I'm so obsessed with her.
Me too. And when I was doing a little research and I was having a look at some of your credits and checking some clips out stuff, and saw that she was in this show. I'm not gonna lie, this Linda Cardellini has been incredibly
Freaks and Geeks for you.
Just everything she's ever appeared in.
I know.
You're like, oh my God, I really want to be.
You want more.
I want her to spit in my mouth.
I know. So do I.
I want her to tell me to grow my butt hair out.
I think she would spit in my mouth if I asked her.
Yeah?
I think Christina would too. If I asked them politely.
If you said, I'm going to put it on Instagram.
Right.
a video where one of you comes up and then the other one,
yeah,
and I chew it and swallow.
It has to be phlegmy like that. I thought it would.
Well,
just
no, but
be
you'd
kind
play
of watery.
up, right? You're an actor.
Yeah, I could chew it.
Even if it's not, you pretend like I'm.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think they would.
Really?
If I explain like how important it was to me.
They wouldn't say, because nowadays, look, we were talking about this before we came on camera. I think you have to be really, really fucking careful about everything you say and do as an actor.
Which I'm not. I wish I could be that way. I don't know. It's not me.
Yeah.
I just fucking talk about my diarrhea all day long.
You sound like John Mayer. John Mayer got in trouble because of the amount of bad things he said in interviews. I mean, he dropped the M-bomb, so maybe slightly different.
Yeah, ideally I wouldn't be thinking things that he's thinking.
No. But you never know.
But also he like has this.
I think he thinks about Linda Cardellini spitting in his mouth as well.
Absolutely.
Probably. Everyone does.
And probably he wants her to poop on him, right? Doesn't he like that?
I heard. Let's start that rumor if it's not already around.
I thought he was into that.
John Mayer loves a bit of brown. That's what, and some yellow.
Am I making that up?
No, you're 100%. That's pretty much confirmed. I think at this point, allegedly.
I love him.
That could be quite fun. Do you?
Yeah.
He seems like a douchebag, actually. Every time I've seen him, he seems like an arsehole.
I guess I love him because he's so sad and, he's like not doing well.
The tortured artist.
I can feel for him. He like knows that things aren't really swinging his way at this point.
But he was such a heartthrob. He was like, everyone wanted John Mayer in their life.
And he was 20 or something. Welcome to the real world, she said to me, condescendingly. Well, that's not really his voice.
I actually barely know any John Mayer songs.
Oh, you didn't grow up with that?
Nope. He's not a big thing in England.
No?
No. But then I got out here, and then everyone's like, especially in the comedy world, because he's, he like turns up to the Comedy Cellar and will get on stage and like play guitar, and Dave Chappelle will like sing with him and stuff.
Stop.
No, that happens.
I didn't know that.
He does
He's
shit like that.
taking the piss out of himself.
He's liked at the Comedy Cellar because he'll just randomly turn up and jump on stage with the guitar.
Right.
And then Dave Chappelle likes it because he'll be like, man, let me sing with John Mayer. And he'll do like that was the worst Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's fine.
Terrible. Terrible impression. What's going to be your weird shit that you're going to do when you are the most successful and famous actor of all time?
Well,
next year.
But right, in a couple months. But like beyond that, we were talking about saying too much shit. I feel like I always talk about my sex life.
Does that limit where you can go in your career, do you think?
I don't think it does. I don't think so. You think of like J-Law and the vomit of the mouth that she has.
She's pretty naughty, but then she's also a lady. You can get away, although you're a gay man. Can you get away with more?
I can't imagine somebody not casting me because of that stuff. But also, I can't imagine anyone watching a full video of me talking as myself. So
that's not true.
Maybe it's that I don't.
I fucking hope that's wrong, because that's literally what I hope people are going to do.
Well, we'll see. You'll have to let me know.
Yeah.
But I can't picture it, so I guess that's why. Because I just assume that nobody's going to watch it. And it's just I think it's this thing where I just whatever I'm thinking about, it's like I have no choice.
You have a choice.
And what I'm thinking about primarily is my poop schedule.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're a regular kind of guy.
I'm super regular, yeah. Go like 3 times in the morning. I actually
like to get up, go and have a coffee down the road, and then I always come home and have a really good poop.
Wait, come home from what? Oh, go and get your coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's quite fast.
On the way home, I do it in increments along the street. Yeah, I just mark my territory.
Oh, right, yeah. Like that guy you were mentioning to me earlier. Jesus
Christ. So I should back this up for the listeners. The other day...
We live in Los Angeles.
2 days ago, myself and Amanda were driving down the high street, down Hollywood Boulevard. And this is like, Hollywood Boulevard, that those of you... Because we've got a lot of listeners overseas. So Hollywood Boulevard that you imagine. The stars on the floor.
It's the high street of Tinseltown.
There you go. It's the Chinese theater. We were outside the Chinese theater in my car. So that's like the most famous spot.
Is that
in
where
Hollywood,
the Oscars are? No, I don't know.
It's where they do all the premieres, everything like that happens there. You got the Ripley's, believe it or not. You got the Chinese theater. You got the Hollywood stars. Fucking Robert De Niro's name is on the floor. And I turn to my right, and I look, and there's someone laying on their side, crumpled up in two, with their back towards me. And I'm like, is that guy?
It's sort of like he's doing a thigh master or something. He's just kind of like.
And then when I look closer, I see that his trousers, he's yoinked his trousers down to his like upper thighs. So his entire anus is...
I can't believe that wasn't the first thing you noticed.
Well, you're just turning. You don't expect to see a gaping anus staring at you. You expect...
Your eye takes a second.
Yeah, it's the eye to brain connectivity was just going, nah, that's just someone on their side.
That's something else I'm seeing.
Maybe that's just a bit of butt crack. Oh, no, it's just full anus.
Full rectum.
And then he leant back, and I assume he was going through some kind of heroin withdrawals or alcoholic issues, and he grabbed his top cheek and really
separated it,
really, really gripped it up.
Parted.
And I felt like I was transported inside of his anus at that point. It was it's like a black hole. I was sucked deep inside of that thing. And as I was just about to enter, liquid shot with great and fierce velocity. It was like a fire extinguisher
into
being...
the gutter. Was it quite tidy in that way?
No, it wasn't. It was on the middle of the side. He was on the corner next to the building.
Probably on Robert De Niro's star.
It was straight across the star.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro was covered. And a small child... There were families walking around, but there was a small child who a dad walked around the corner, saw what was going on, and instead of doing what I would think a natural father instinct would be, which is to go, ooh, and pick up a kid and kind of grab a kid and turn him away from that and go, come on, we're crossing the road. He just sort of looked and was like, oh, wow.
Okay.
And then the kid kind of looked at the dad, saw where his eyes were trained on, and looked down.
You saw him see it.
Yeah, the kid looked up at his dad because the dad just stopped, and then the kid looked up, looked down at the butthole, and kind of went.
He reacted.
Yeah, I mean that was the first adult anus he's ever seen taking a fierce liquid shit.
And it probably took him a couple seconds to understand what he was seeing as well.
Oh wow, I've seen a kid do this. That kid with that kid who's got that lactose intolerance issue at school. Sure. I think I've seen him do this once.
Yes, he's familiar with it.
Yeah.
But also I was wondering if, as a gay kid, if that affects your proclivities and tendencies in your sex life.
Well, from that moment on, you go, every time I see a butthole, it better be showering me in glorious
Otherwise,
liquid.
It doesn't really do it. Anyway, if somebody asked me to do that, I think I could gear it up.
What, on screen?
Well, on screen, I don't know. I might be shy.
What's the most...
Do you think you could poop on command?
Not on command. I can poop if I need to poop.
If you have to, could you, just with your pants on?
Could I take a shit? Oh.
Standing.
Yeah.
I don't know if physically that's...
I've shit myself once in my entire life.
I think I have once as well.
When I was doing lots of drugs and lots of drinking, and I had IBS, but not because I had the disease IBS, Irritable Bowel Syndrome.
Yes.
But because I was taking so many drugs and drinking so much at that time, I was 17, that I had damaged my insides to the point where when I needed to shit, I would be walking down the street and be like, what a beautiful day. Look at the birds. Look at all the wonderful people. It was like a Disney movie. I was like a Disney princess. I was wearing a wonderful dress.
In the spring.
Oh, hello, Triple Threat.
I'm trying to figure out the melody of that.
There you go. And I'm walking down and I'm like, just loving my life. And I need to wonder what is going on. Oh! Da-da-da-dum, I need a shit right now.
Yeah.
And I'd have to run into the nearest store and be like, and normally it was a little corner store.
And is London quite amenable to that?
Like a Bangladeshi or Pakistani guy behind the counter.
They're going to let you in?
I'd be like, bro, I need to use your restroom. I'm so sorry, man. I like my stomach. I have IBS.
I'm dying.
And they would 9 times out of 10 go, oh, there's no toilet here. There's no public toilet here. And I go, listen, I know that you have a toilet. Of course you do.
This is an emergency.
Please let me use it. Otherwise, I'm going to mess my trousers. I'm not
nightmare.
A fucking random dude. I'm not a drug addict. Here, I will give you 20 quid. I'll buy stuff from the store. Please let me. Sure. And they'd be like, oh, okay. And
you don't even have time to have this conversation.
I mean, I'd rush it out and I'd be in sweats.
Yeah.
And I'd go into the toilet and I would have just a...
Yeah, right.
You know one of those shits that talks to you? Like an old, angry New Jersey guy.
It's like a door opening. Yeah, of course. And you probably had Thai food as well, obviously.
I actually used to eat a lot of curries, Indian curries, and spicy chicken wings from Chicken Cottage, which is probably added to the...
Chicken Cottage, is that...
Oh,
English?
imagine the most shit KFC knockoff shop ever, but there was a chain of them.
I can't believe I didn't get that when I was in London the other week.
The worst.
I went to Dishoom, that new Indian place.
That's very fancy. In East London, in Brick Lane, the one near Brick Lane?
There's a new one in Soho, I think. But it was, super spicy butt the next day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But that's kind of Indian food for people who...
Yes.
That's for hipsters who want to be like, what's the bougiest...
But there is that element of danger because it's so spicy.
There you go.
So then the next day you're really feeling it.
But I mean, it's not a real curry if you don't feel it at both ends. It has to burn at both ends.
Yeah, I think it was successful in that way.
Yeah.
I had a few curries.
Do you
not
like
as many
being
as
in
I would have
England?
liked. I was fucking obsessed with England.
Why?
I can't wait to go back. I guess because it feels like my hometown of Manhattan, of New York. But then it's also old things around me, which I realize
some
there's
actual
nothing
history.
around me usually.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the only thing I miss about Europe, really.
isn't it weird to be here? And people are
it's
like,
weird
that
to walk around,
building's
they go-
from 1960. Can you believe?
Like, people do that all the time. They go, wow, it's such a beautiful old building. I'm like, this is mid-century.
Right.
Like, we have my pub
Mid-century is shocking.
at the end of my road in England is about 400 years old.
I know. I can't imagine.
And that's pretty new. It's been refurbed. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, I walked out of my hotel and I was like, this looks like Mrs. Dalloway. And I like looked it up and she did live on, Virginia Woolf did live on that square. I was like, of course.
But could you live in England? Because the weather. Ugh.
Well, that's what I was saying is that I've only been there when it was stunningly perfect. So
Yeah, there you go.
It wasn't really accurate. Do you think I could?
No.
I've lived in New York. Is it that different?
Yeah.
It's shitty.
Yeah,
in New
no,
York
it is.
too.
Yeah, it is. It's a different level of.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Do more people kill themselves
people-
in London than in New York?
I don't know, actually. That's
wonder.
good. I should look up the suicide rates.
Yeah.
I know I've wanted to kill myself in both cities.
Right, me too.
So.
No, I never wanted to kill myself in London. But it was just that sweet spot of July and like there was a breeze. It was actually quite cold because I only packed shorts like these.
There you go.
Because I was so hot in LA.
Those, you know what's the irony is that the shorts you're wearing, the shorts I'm wearing right now, are so incredibly, wonderfully, flamboyantly short.
They're so short, it's shocking.
If I wasn't wearing the boxer briefs I was wearing, my nuts would hang clear of
you have
fabric.
to think of your underwear choices when you're wearing
Absolutely.
these shorts.
But I also,
These actually have underwear built in.
I used to make fun of my dad for wearing really short shorts on holiday because it was like the embarrassing dad thing to do.
Because
And
he's
now-
European.
Now I'm just like,
I know.
short shorts.
You look at Armie Hammer in that movie Call Me By Your Name and he has short shorts on because it's set in the
I don't understand
80s.
that reference.
Call Me By Your Name, it's a film.
Yeah.
Okay, so films are like, they started
They start, it's like moving pictures.
celluloid.
It's like YouTube.
Right, it's exactly like YouTube.
Okay, all right.
It's sort of like what
TikTok,
we're doing.
it's like TikTok, but longer.
I haven't seen TikTok actually.
It's like YouTube,
Oh, okay. But shorter, right?
but shorter.
It's like snaps.
Yeah, and normally 10-year-olds.
But then they're also TikTok is the one I'm
A lot of
thinking of.
pedophiles on TikTok.
But didn't Lil Nas X start on TikTok, or is that not true?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think
Or
Old Town Road.
SoundCloud. Or is he SoundCloud rapper?
He's probably SoundCloud as well, but like I think TikTok started his he put Old Town Road on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's what blew up.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing
it's
now?
true.
This is why I like actors and performers of all kinds, and comics, obviously,
Sure.
who embrace the new ways to put out technology, to put out their
unbelievable.
content on different technology.
But for him to have been such a success from that platform,
yeah.
it's just unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you think of 50 Shades of Grey. It was like
What's a book?
well, yeah, it was a book, yes. But it was fan fiction about One Direction. Is that right? Oh no, about Twilight. Fan fiction about Twilight, about Bella and the guy, the vampire in Twilight.
Really?
And then she changed the names and made it into 50 Shades of Grey, and it became a best-selling book.
Are you fucking serious?
I know this to be fact. Isn't that unbelievable?
She
So things-
basically wrote some fan fiction ripping off an existing piece of art.
Yeah, she was like jerking off to Bella and the vampire.
No, I want him to tie her arm and treat her bad.
Oh, but I'll
She
take
should
out the
have
vampire
no
part.
rights.
Yeah.
No rights.
I think. Well, obviously, I think she did cut out the vampire part.
Yeah.
Unless
And suddenly he became a stock market
right.
stockbroker. Same thing.
A
Basically
dude.
vampires.
Yeah, Jamie Dornan.
Suck us dry, right?
Yeah, really.
And then gets her to suck him dry.
Just like a boring white guy.
I've never read it. I've never read any of those books,
Me
but I would
neither.
like to. I know they made movies of them.
Yeah, I saw the second one in the theaters.
Good,
That's the only
bad?
one I've seen. Shockingly bad. It's just unbelievable, like overwhelming, but really so bad it's really fun to watch.
But hang on a sec. Is it bad because performances are incredibly poor? Or
Well, no, that's what's incredible is that Dakota Johnson, Melanie Griffith's daughter, is the lead. She has a sort of wink with it. She's quite cheeky in how she does it.
Okay.
She, like every line that she says, she's like subtly making fun of the movie.
Right.
It's like every line she'll be like,
Knowingly, I'm going to put your volume back up again. You have such a. I love how
I'm
you.
sorry,
go.
I'm so
No,
soft.
it's all right. You go from like
Well, I was
conspiratorial.
Well, when you make me
This is the thing that's
when you make me
happening right
fart
now.
with laughter, then the levels are all off.
There you go.
But she like every line she'll be like, I don't know. Okay, let's go to the store, and she you just can't help but love her. She's incredible.
Okay, but then the main guy.
Yeah, Jamie Dornan, you know him.
No,
He's a Brit.
is he?
Yeah, he's in The Fall with Gillian Anderson.
Never seen it.
He plays a serial killer in that.
Gillian Anderson.
Is it Gillian?
Gillian Anderson.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
I mean, at least that's the name I called when I was jacking off over her when I was a teenage boy.
Gillian.
Gillian.
Gillian. Yeah.
Oh, Gil.
Gillian's
Then my
little...
mum walks in. Who's Gil?
If it's Gillian,
tell
you're
us
gay.
something?
If it's Gillian, you're
Yeah,
straight.
if you called her Gillian,
Yeah.
you need to suck a
Let's be
mean
quick.
dick. But if it's Gillian, then you're definitely into the ladies.
The gays are all just like, Gillian, right? Yeah.
It's Gillian, right? Yeah.
It's like
She-
this myth
She
perpetuated
used
by
to
the
wear
gays
a lot of like power suits. She dressed in power suits.
during X-Files.
She's actually very masculine in the way that she presents
But
herself.
that's what's so hot about it, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
she just didn't reveal anything about herself.
She'd be the Dorian to my whatever the chick's name is.
Dorian?
Who's the Dorian Gray?
Oh, yeah. The painting.
Wait. 50 Shades of Grey, the main guy's called Dorian Gray,
Oh,
right?
No, I don't think so. I think that's just a picture of Dorian Gray.
Oh, Dorian Gray is just the picture that
Yeah.
ages so he doesn't have to.
So he's gorgeous his whole
Holy
life.
fucking shit.
I don't even think it's a play on Dorian Gray. Like, I literally think she didn't have that thought.
She just was looking at the wall and she was like, oh, that's
50
Grey.
Shades of Grey.
Grey?
No, his name is
She
something
was
Gray.
Writing the fan fiction, playing with her pussy.
Obsessed
And she
with
looked
Twilight.
looking at her own pubis. And she was like, oh, yeah. And she saw a grey pubic
There's
hair.
no color.
And she was like, oh, yeah, was there 50 Shades of that?
And she had a
That went grey from how much I've been playing with my pussy, reading my own fan
She
fiction.
had a gray hair because she was masturbating so much. Is that right?
That's
that
what
what
I'm going to put on the
happens?
Wikipedia page when I update it later on this
Yeah.
afternoon.
I can't imagine going gray down there.
Would you ever, like, if someone wrote fan fiction about your character
Oh,
in
fuck.
Dead to Me,
Hopefully
would
erotic.
you? Well, it'd have to be. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's no other kind of fan fiction.
of
They're
course.
never like, oh, I really loved that. I wrote some stories about your character going on adventures where he helps
Just thought you
kids
might be-
in the Sudanese
I feel like if that
Jungle.
ever happened, it would be me.
Sudanese jungle.
It would be my character. I'd be like, really? Nothing? No? Not a kiss?
But if you read online some Reddit forum, some 4chan forum got forwarded to you,
Mm-hmm.
hey, have you seen this? Max is about your character.
Would I jerk off to it?
Would you like? Well, I was going to ask you if you would, but yeah, that's a great question. But I was going to ask if you'd ever reach out to that person and be like, you know what? Thank you.
And like give notes and like maybe other ideas. And
Go like, I mean, I liked the bit where I fisted
yeah.
Thor.
I would ideally have Hemsworth characters in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you thought about Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini's characters spitting in my mouth first?
Right, exactly.
And
We
then I
got to get that in.
Bit that into Thor's mouth.
I do love reading. I love reading erotica.
Really?
Yeah, I really like it.
Where do you find your erotica?
I search terms mostly. Just like adjectives and nouns, verbs in Google.
I feel like you should be a stand-up. You're very funny. You are very naturally funny. We didn't get
I'm
to
not.
talk much the first time we met.
I
'Cause
know.
We met
Where
very
were we
briefly.
even?
We were in a bar down the road, remember?
Yeah, right.
And we had a glass of wine. Well, I
You
think
had
I was
your
still
hat
doing
on,
that.
didn't
I might
you?
have did I have a cowboy hat
I
on?
think you might have.
I had long hair still.
I don't know if
though.
it was a cowboy hat. It was like some sort of. It was like Indiana Jones. Is that a cowboy hat?
No, was it that grey
Oh yeah, I
cowboy
guess
hat?
it was.
Yeah, it was a cowboy hat. It's
Okay,
a
fine.
Stetson. That's a Stetson.
Oh, it's Stetson. Okay, I feel
And
like that's
then
different than no?
I had long hair then as well.
You fucking did. Oh my
And a
god,
beard.
I forgot.
Well, you don't have noticed that I look,
You were still really hot, even though you had long hair.
but now I look like a.
Like WeHo gay. You've reached your final form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I might start getting the roles that I'm trying to get.
Now you'll finally book.
I'll finally book something in pilot season.
Yes.
That's the thing though. I have to
Yeah.
I don't have any. Oh, that's a lie.
My first pilot season here, I lived on this next block, Garfield Place,
Okay.
and I bleached my hair blonde. Didn't get any auditions.
Because you had bleached blonde hair.
I thought that they all hated the Jews and that they would want me to have blonde German hair, but they didn't.
Isn't it interesting that the industry, I feel like casting directors, and I don't want to shit on potential employers, but there is an element where they just see what's in front of them.
Sure.
There's no like sense of, oh, he's a great actor.
I know, we can't
And we could
expect
easily
them.
put a lace front on him for long hair so he can play the cowboy version of this.
Yeah.
They just go short hair, bit of stubble, short beard. Okay, he's that guy.
There's no consideration. I mean, maybe like back in the 50s, there were auditions like that with directors who were like, we're entering into each other's lives. We have to feel each other. Come on, let's take these 2 hours and let's work it out.
Yeah.
Now
it's like, come in.
Do you even think that exists at all anymore? Maybe with old people, like old legends.
It exists once you are at a certain level of success.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
Or if you're someone's muse. So
Yes.
if you're a Johnny Depp Helena Bonham Carter,
Of course.
for a Tim Burton.
Yes.
I mean, apart from the fact they were married,
they don't have to
I know they're
audition.
married, but you know,
Oh,
but they
right,
don't.
no.
Well, they don't have to audition. But also, I think even at the beginning of those relationships, there's probably an idea of going, I
have
really
a
want to
chat.
put you in something.
Sure.
So let's work this and let's find how to shape the character even around what your interpretation of it
Of course.
is.
I also love in like interviews and magazines when they're like, I worked really hard for this part. I wrote Tim Burton a letter. So
Yeah.
like, oh, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Really? That's all you had to do?
I worked really hard for a part recently. Didn't get the part.
What'd you do?
Well, actually, it was it's a TV show called The Witcher. The Witcher TV series. Yeah, it's based on a series of books that was turned into a very successful franchise of video games.
Sounds
In fact,
dope.
my last guest did the voice of Geralt of Rivia.
You're kidding me.
Original. That's a picture of me as Geralt of Rivia when I had long hair
Is
that
he
I
a
had done
warlock?
at San Diego. He's a witcher, so he kills
A witcher.
monsters. He's kind of magical and also almost like they go through a process of drinking a liquid that changes them forever.
Oh, he's not born with it.
So no, but they had like a natural. They have to survive the process. Only 1 in 100 children that undergo the change ever survive.
And it's not it's not
But they're genetic. It's genetic mutations.
Sure.
But it's set in like a fancy world, so he fights basilisks and things like that for local villages.
obsessed. Basilisks.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
I
But
thought
Henry-
a basilisk was like something that sits on your desk and it's like a compass of some kind.
No.
I thought it was like a mathematical instrument.
No. You're thinking of
Obelisk. No, I don't know what that is.
an
either.
obelisk. Is a big is like what's in Washington D.C. That's an
Oh,
obelisk.
yeah, cool.
A basilisk is like a snake-like creature.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it'll fuck you up, man,
It's such a great word.
dude. I mean, it's not real,
Yeah,
or is it?
sure. I mean,
It's kind of a dinosaur, a big lizardy dinosaur
hot.
that'll fuck your shit up.
I would get that word tattooed on my body or something. Basilisk.
Basilisk. Get it tattooed on your upper thighs, and then when people are looking in the short
I know,
shorts,
I
you just
fucking-
hike it up.
Since
and
I
go,
have
okay.
the shorts, like I could really benefit from those.
Yeah.
From some upper thigh tattoos.
You're the only
quite
guest I've ever
blank
had on this
canvas,
podcast.
isn't it?
By the way, I've if anything, I've tried to make the shorts right higher up.
Of course.
It's almost like we're seeing who can get the higher.
You're not even getting them
The
with
more-
me. I think I'm too far down. Oh!
There it is.
You're not really getting the bet because you're not seeing the spread. I don't think it's.
We could do a little twirl. This is
just
just
need
going
to
to be an
sit on some
exclusive for the
books.
YouTube viewers.
Okay.
Let's do a little. Da 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 dum dum da dum dum da 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 dum dum da da dum ba da ba da ba da bum ba dum ba ba da bum ba da bum ba 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 da ba dum ba ba boom bum bum. Okay. There you go. That could have been DLC.
Thank you for
Little
that.
extra
I love
download
that
content.
track.
Make sure to support us. Patreon.com.
Thank you.
/Savage
Manscaped.com.
Snowflake. Manscaped.com. Look how smooth the legs are. That's all. That's all.
We
Manscaped.
could contribute additional content
I
to the
want to shave
Patreon.
you. I've got a kit in there. I want to
I
pull
wish
it out
you
and
would.
just fucking shave
If
you.
I ever did it, you would do it.
That'd be pretty fun.
But other than you, nobody. I don't want anybody to touch it.
So wait, hang on. We were talking. Oh yeah. So I auditioned for that role. So what I did that was above and beyond. It's the only time I've ever done this.
And I can't believe you auditioned for that and you love this
Oh, I love it
piece.
so much.
Yeah.
I was really happy to get at least. It was just a self tape.
But it's
But it was
fucking
still
dope.
nice.
That never happens.
And then they asked me to self tape for a second character because Henry Cavill they already had lined up to play Geralt of Rivia.
Great.
So I was never going to win that battle.
Sure.
Fucking Superman, right? And then
I mean, this is a serious project that Henry is,
there you go. And then the next one was for another character. But what I did is, I think it's very cheesy to turn up to auditions in any kind of outfit.
It's a little, I think they're afraid of you.
It's uncomfortable, right? So I would never do that, especially if I'm going up to CW or something and I'm going to go into a room and it's like, in
But
and
there
out
can be
one person.
ways in which you show how passionate
There you
you
go.
are.
Exactly. And I think you can do a little something,
Sure.
but, like if you're going to play a cowboy, maybe turning up in like Gold's Gym t-shirt
You bring your
and
Stetson,
short shorts might be a bit weird. Yeah, you go bring a Stetson or
Yeah,
have
yeah.
like a shirt on my boots
a
on. or
pointed
whatever.
boot.
However, I went out for the second character because his name's Dandelion in the books, or Yaskia,
Honestly,
and
sexy.
he's a bard. He's a traveling bard.
Love.
And whilst I'm not a professional singer, I'm not bad.
Okay.
I can carry a
You're quite
tune.
good.
I can hold a note. I can
You're a
carry a tune.
musician.
I can sing. Okay.
You
but
play
I'm-
guitar, yeah?
No,
Do you not?
No,
I
I used
thought
to play
you
the
did.
drums. But I learned how to play the ukulele for this. So
Oh my
because
God.
they said play a ukulele or a guitar or something if you
incredible.
can. So
For your tape?
I got your first self tape. So I got a ukulele from my friend. Then I got him to teach me about 7 or 8 chords.
Obsessed.
Then I wrote a song.
Is it quite easy?
Not when it's the first time you're doing
How
it.
long
and
did
you're
it
trying
take
to
you?
I spent like a few hours practicing that. Then I spent a few hours learning the sides.
Yeah.
Then I wrote a song. They had the lyrics, but I had to write the music to fit to the lyrics. And then what I did outside of that is I got hired the remainder of a costume to look exactly as the character is in the video game.
Stop.
And then I went
I feel
with
like if
a
you're
buddy.
doing a tape, you should do as much as you can possibly can.
But I mean, this was next level. I went out to we drove an hour out tonight up near Topanga to the mountainside.
Oh, yes.
And with my buddy with a 7D camera or
You were
whatever,
outside?
Canon 7D. Yeah, went outside, mic'd up, all of
Emerged
that,
from behind a tree, strumming.
and I literally did a whole little scene in the character.
You were like, doo, 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 doo,
Pretty
doo,
much, and then
doo,
walked out
doo.
and was like, oh, Geralt of Rivia, let me tell you about Geralt of Rivia, and did this whole
It's a little bit of a
monologue.
speech.
Yes, did a little monologue for them as the character.
Roll the tape.
And then roll tape. And didn't get the role. But I
Can you
impressed them.
imagine? You did. You heard that you impressed them.
They emailed back
They
to
were
my
like,
agent and were
wow.
we love Jeff and his auditions. We want to say that his auditions for both of these characters were incredible.
Okay, that's
But-
more than you could possibly ask for.
But we already have someone in mind. But anyway, the guy who got Yaska is like a legit professional musician and actor. He's in a band that
Who is
tours
it?
all over the world. Can't remember his fucking name.
It's like Reeve Carney
I
or
can look
something.
it up. I can go from your IMDb to someone else's. Here we go.
What, you're going to The Witcher, IMDb? Is it already? Oh, it's
yeah,
already
it's in there.
done.
Oh, they've finished
This is a
this
highly
first.
Oh my God!
How
There's
ripped
already a
is he?
trailer.
Yeah. They've already shot the first series.
Is that Henry?
First season? There's Henry. Oh, here we go. Joey Beatty, his name is, and he's a musician, and he'd also been in a couple of projects that the casting director had already cast.
I thought
she
his name was
obviously liked
Dandelion.
him. Yeah, Yaskia Dandelion. It's the same character. They just he uses a different name. It's like his nickname.
Okay, that's annoying.
But
Choose
anyway,
one, right?
I was never going to win, but I feel like by doing something like that, I was running the risk of being really cheesy, but I think it paid off.
I think that you should do
Season
it.
2, Season 2.
No, I think when you really care about something, I think in the room there's etiquette and you have to worry about their feelings.
Sure.
But when you're making your own tape,
Do what you want to
fucking
do.
go for it.
Yeah.
I think that's incredible. And you think of people like Josh Brolin, who he got the Coen brothers to tape his, or no, he was on set for something else and he got like Spielberg or somebody to tape his tape for the Coen brothers
Are you
movie that
fucking
he
serious?
ultimately got. And it's like, imagine them opening the file and it's like, I don't know.
Steven Spielberg and action.
Yeah,
directed
really.
by Steven Spielberg.
And it's just lit to perfection. And he's, it's like a slow fade up.
Here's the thing, and I think you're correct, completely correct. I think when it comes to self-tapes, and this is quite good advice actually for any aspiring actors to listen to, I think when you go into a room, don't be weird shit. Know your sides for a start. The amount of people I see taking sides in with them,
It's terrifying.
well, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Give up. If you're taking sides into an audition.
Although I'll say in New
give
York,
up.
there's a different kind of etiquette where you always bring the sides, even though you're memorized. You're fully memorized, but you always hold it to remind them that it's not the full finished performance.
Okay.
But I think in LA it's different.
That's interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. It's
just-
like a mental thing. It's like
it's to remind them. Yeah. It's
subconsciously they're going, okay. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I might have the sides in my pocket and then
Sure.
I'll be just double checking over them
Yeah,
before
yeah.
I go in. But once I go in the room,
just be
they
memorized.
go, do you need the sides? I just go, oh, no, I'm good. And I put them down.
Yeah. How good can you be if you're not memorized?
There you go.
Yeah.
And how are they going to ever work with you if you can't learn a couple of pages or even 4 or 5 pages of
They can't work
sides?
with you. Yeah.
They're like, well, this motherfucker won't be
you're
able to
struggling.
do longer than a third of a scene
Sure.
without us
yeah.
having to cut.
Yeah.
But then for the self-tape, I do like that idea. I'd always looked on other people who've done really, outfits or try and do something very stylized. I'm a bit like, you're trying a bit too hard, and that makes you look less bookable to me in my mind, because it makes you look like not a professional actor who's very busy doing lots of things and just going, oh, I've prepared the sides, I'm going to do a good read.
It's all about perception, and if they perceive you to be desperate, then it's
there you go.
It's over for you.
However, going, all right, this is a particular character. Actually going, all right, you know what? This would work better. Like, imagine it's a fucking, he's a bit of a geezer and he's talking out about blah, 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 blah. Maybe go down to a local corner shop or do the tape walking along going, nah, but I understand what you're
as
trying
long
to
as you have good
what I mean?
lighting,
Like,
yes.
really give it, yes, the lighting is very important.
And that's hard too.
Although in LA, you go outside, you've actually probably got better lighting than most rooms
you probably look
inside.
amazing. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But, and I told you this earlier before we started, but I have to say I think it's brilliant. You tape the phone to the window, and you're blown out. You look stunning because it's the window light. And then you tape your sides next to the phone. You look like you're off book. In a pinch. if you don't have time
How
to
big do you have
memorize
to
the
blow out
lines,
the sides though? And also, if it's multiple pages,
you're really close to the
then you're
phone.
going to start like that, and you're going to be going, yeah, no,
And then your
I
sight
remember
line
when I
changes.
first
And
saw her face. It was
you do the
pretty
Matthew McConaughey
impressive,
where you're
isn't it?
thinking.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, that's it. Actors have these. So we were discussing this before we started. That actors
Oh, was that
have
before
these,
we started? Sorry.
I think so, wasn't it?
I don't know. It's all blending
We
together
had so
at this
much fun.
point. I know.
Who knows? Who cares anymore?
I don't remember when we
This is about
when we
you.
started.
It's just about our love.
It's about us. It's not about me. It's about
It's
where
about
where we-
us. It's about us. It's about us. Na, 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 na. I don't know the song.
It's about faith. It's about trust. It's about who is that?
It's a bit gaudy, isn't it?
Is that somebody who's dead now?
About God? Yeah. Was it Lisa Left Eye Lopez?
Is it Whitney?
Is it Whitney?
No.
Is that, no, it was like a
It's
pop
about
girl.
us. It's about us. Yeah, it's like someone. It's not like A-list pop. It's like Sierra or something. No offense to Sierra, obsessed.
I want to know, as a gay actor,
Yes,
have you predominantly played gay characters?
I have. Yeah.
And this is because it works both ways, right? So I think straight actors should be able to portray gay actors, gay characters,
Yeah.
and gay actors should be able to portray straight characters,
Sure.
and that should be part of the process of performing something you're not.
Yes.
That should be enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's fun when you see somebody who's that their persona is not what they're portraying in the. It's like exciting to watch.
Absolutely. Does it get frustrating though that you may be brought in more often than not? So, this is a gay character. Let's bring in Max to audition for it.
I'm not. I don't think I'm at that point yet. I'm still so excited to be like playing bigger roles.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes my mom says to me, and this kind of annoys me when anything your mom says, right? But
Yeah.
she
Your
goes-
mum especially.
Yeah, my mom. She's famously the worst.
I mean, she's very loving.
No, she's the
but
best.
Just
And
fucking
she's very pretty.
nags all the time.
She does, and to you, which is so weird because she doesn't
Doesn't even
you.
know me. She just sends me DMs on Instagram.
Yeah,
all the time.
I know. And then she unfollows, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, you're obsessed with me.
I was messing about and go, why'd you unfollow me?
Right, and then she follows
She's
back.
like, well, you cut your hair, and I'm not trying to tell you how to do your industry, Jeff, but you were infinitely more unique and bookable for that reason, and now you look like everyone else.
She likes weird. She prefers kind of, and it feels like you're trying to conform. And she was on to that. Like she could.
You
see
know what?
that
She has a
from mile
point.
away.
I should reach out to her again.
Yeah, you should talk to
and
her.
apologize because I sent her some harsh words. I sent her some gifts. I think.
Oh, did
just
you?
Like, you don't fucking know me. Gifts, just things from BT shows, just
Right.
like sassy women on a couch, just
Yeah.
being like,
She might have appreciated that actually.
There was a finger one. There was one that was just a finger going.
Yeah, I think that she might have heard that more
It's on
than
loop.
anything else.
Yeah.
So I think you might be speaking her language in any case. But she says to me, she's like, "Do you think?"
Threat. It's got improv as well, ladies and gentlemen.
I really don't. Whenever I'm called upon to improv, I'm like, I'm tired, But it's my mind doesn't work that quickly. But she goes, do you think you're always going to play gay roles? Or like, do you think that's all you can play? I really think you can play more than that.
Wow.
And it's like, well, I don't really think about it until you say that. And
Also, I'm playing the roles that I'm being given.
yeah. And also, I still don't see enough. It's not like there's so many gay characters that I'm bored of it. I still think it's really interesting to see it because
Sure.
there aren't that many.
Also, it's interesting to play gay characters in a different way than how they may previously have been portrayed.
Well, that's true. And I
'Cause
think
normally
that's
it's like, hello.
You're right, exactly.
You know?
And sometimes people ask me to do that in auditions, and I'm not so good at it because
Yeah.
I'm not good at kind of being like larger than. I kind of
Well,
just
you're
have
not
to be my weird
particularly
self.
effeminate, by the way. Like in
Well,
just your
yeah,
day to day.
I am in some ways, but I'm just everything. I'm just both. Yeah, right. Some ways.
Yeah, thighs. Mostly in the thighs. If the acting's all from the thigh area, but then again, so am I. Clearly,
The way I sit,
got a
I
little bit of
definitely.
lady thigh fat going on. Look at that.
You cross like this.
I do cross my legs sometimes, but I always have to lift the cock and
Do you
ball.
shave the thigh?
I lift the cock and ball. I trim everything
It's
down
quite
normally.
sparse.
But I lift my cock and balls up and I let
have
them
to.
nestle like a baby bird.
They have to rest at the top.
Yeah.
There's also that exercise where if you're like this in exercise class, they have to be resting atop.
Leg raises.
Because if they're stuck in between,
No good.
how are your leg raises going to be
No good.
optimized?
No good.
No, I think I just like it's like this thing where I would love to play any role still, and
You want to play a black role?
I don't know. He can the record show that he said that? That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was definitely me. It was just a joke.
It's like,
It's quite funny. I think that's quite a funny concept.
did Kate Blanchett do that?
It's so ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous concept
Yeah.
that's okay.
No, it could be beautiful. Look, anyway, I I feel like there isn't a single role I wouldn't be excited to play.
Yeah.
And if they're all gay, that would be fucking awesome.
Do you think what do you think? Because I talked to Scout Durwood a little bit about sexuality and roles, because she's a a lesbian actress.
What does she say?
And she hasn't always portrayed her own sexuality. She's portrayed straight characters too.
Sure.
And I think part of the joy of being an actor is getting to be something you're not.
It's true.
Like, I'm really interested. I would absolutely adore playing a gay character. I got reached out to recently.
It's fun.
And plus it's an excuse to,
just
suck
let fucking loose.
Dick,
I
and
know,
just
finally
and
get to
just
suck a dick.
and be able to excuse it to
Right.
a lady
It's
in my
not your
life. Just be
fault.
like, hey, listen,
It's like you're being held
it's
at
the role,
gunpoint.
babe. Yeah, but in the script it doesn't say that you
No,
actually
I have to.
perform the oral sex. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I'm a method.
Okay, read between the lines. Like, you're
There you
obviously
go.
not.
I mean, but I do honestly. I think, look, for instance, we started watching, or I started watching. She's already watched it all, but Pose.
Yeah. So
Because of now a mutual friend that I know called
Yeah.
MJ, who plays the main character in Pose.
Obsessed.
She's
I'm
the
so
protagonist.
excited to see MJ in Little Shop of Horrors at Pasadena Playhouse.
Oh, really?
My
I didn't
friend
know
of
she was doing
Mike
that?
is directing it. Yeah.
When's that?
In a couple months.
Oh,
Or no,
fuck
I think.
yeah. All right, well, I'm definitely gonna go and see that,
This
if we can
month.
get tickets.
It's this month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you guys should try to come to the opening with me.
Absolutely, that'd be amazing.
I'm obsessed because this casting was announced in New York for a production of Little Shop of Horrors, and it was quite white. And
Who's she playing?
she's playing fucking Audrey, dude.
Okay, nice.
It's so exciting because it's such a diverse cast. It's like all like a lot of gay people in the cast.
Sure.
And it's like
And trans, I'm guessing.
Sure. I mean, it's
Including
diverse in every way you can imagine.
Yeah.
And it's not a necessarily gay show, but it is because it's campy and it's like gay people are obsessed with it. And it's
Little
musical
Shop of
theater.
Horrors. I mean, we did that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely a wonderfully camp show. Like
It's the best.
Yeah.
But so this cast in New York is quite white and almost feels retro. And then this casting was announced like the next day.
Yeah.
And everybody on
Is
the
this
internet
like
was
the
like,
Wiz
fuck.
to the Wizard of Oz.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm excited. Anyway, so
the
you're
singing's
friends
gonna
with
be better
MJ.
for a start.
Sorry.
Just generally.
No, they have Jonathan Groff and they have some really good people in New York, of course. But this is so exciting. It just feels more essential.
I think if there was a sing-off, if there was like a sing-off for the races,
and I think they're going to have one.
like whites would lose that.
It's a bunch of white people in this cast. And,
Yeah.
Also, and to have 3 black girls as the backup singers, it's like, do we even need to see that ever again?
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. It's a girl group.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, I started watching that TV show, Pose.
So.
And it was, I
think
was like,
MJ's so good.
I would adore to be in this show. Outside of the fact that I love the stylized nature of it, it's like watching a Dave LaChapelle photograph.
Every scene.
Every scene is very stylized. In fact, but it was the guy who does American Horror Story who's directed it,
Sure.
correct?
Ryan Murphy created it.
So even though there's a couple of, he's the creator. So even though there's a couple of performances that are very weak, there's a couple of performers in there, not MJ, so
Sure.
we were okay. But
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a couple
we're
of
fine.
performers that I'm like going, okay, this is like your first time
They're quite
ever
green.
acting. Yeah, first time ever acting.
Yeah.
And I'm only on season 1. I've been told that by season 2, some of those performances really step up.
I think they have, yeah.
But it's visually so engaging. MJ's brilliant.
yeah.
And also I was watching it going, I would love to be a part of the project like that as a straight dude who, don't get me wrong, I've definitely been part of the queer scene when I was growing up. I was DJ'd in lots of gay and queer clubs.
I want to hear about the
so-
London queer scene. I'm curious.
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. We can talk about it at length. But when I used to DJ that, so I was very much part of that crew. I had lots of gay friends and transvestite friends and drag queens growing up as part of my crew.
Yeah.
Very few lesbians, actually, because they're not very sociable.
They'll stay at home.
They're more stay at home.
Yeah.
So would I if I had a vagina and another vagina
Can you imagine?
around. That's great.
Yeah.
But the I would love to do it because watching that series, I realize I'm learning more about trans people, especially which I still think is prevalent now, but trans people in the 80s. God forbid, constant like we feel like the trans movement is like now.
It's so
Last
fucked up
5
for
to
them
5
now.
to 10
Imagine
years.
what it was like then. I know.
Can you imagine? Now, don't get me wrong. I also still have questions about being transgender and about what element of it is body dysmorphia.
Sure.
What part of it is makes people happy when they undergo changes versus how many people the suicide rate is still incredibly high.
Yeah.
With people who've undergone the full transition.
Oh, interesting.
So there's lots of questions I have about it, and I haven't found any finite answers. However, I did not know 95% of the things that I'm learning by watching that show about the trans community. Certainly not in the 80s, 90s, and that kind of period.
Unbelievable.
So I would love to be a part of that project to understand that. In the same way that I would love to play a gay character to learn more about the psyche of a gay man going through something in his life. That's the skill for an actor, is to be able to portray a story that isn't your own, because it's never your own, because you're never that person unless it's an autobiographical piece.
And I think that's also why it's becoming less of a question for me, because I think even if I were playing a straight person, he would be more interesting because I was gay, and he might be, I don't know if he would be kind of a little bit more gay, or if he would be super... You know, it's like he could be so many different things, maybe by virtue of the fact that I would be playing him.
You know
I
what
would be
hasn't
able to bring
happened yet,
more to him.
which needs to happen, even though it's happened in the print versions of a lot of things, is superhero that is gay.
Apparently that's happening.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. There was this big
Brie Larson.
audition. I know, really.
Captain Marvel.
Oh, you didn't know?
Definitely a lesbian.
No, it's like...
Well, there's been undertones of those kind of relationships.
But there was a big audition, and it was like, it was a Marvel audition. It was like, we want to have an openly gay actor play this role.
Nice.
So I don't know. I don't know what Marvel project it is. It'll come out in 2025, probably.
Yeah.
But
that was, see, that for me, that'd be pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah.
You know, are they going to pass on now that the mantle, you know, at the end of Avengers Infinity Wars, you know, Steve Rogers passes on his shield to his black, like, co-star.
Who's that?
Who he plays the Falcon, doesn't he? He plays the Falcon character who becomes Captain America in the comic books.
Oh, dope.
And that was like a big thing at the time. Like, oh my God, Captain America is now a black guy?
Right.
And it's like, no, Captain America is now the only person that Captain America could be, this American hero who's been saving lives for fucking countless comic books.
Yeah. And
Steve Rogers has to pass it on.
Yeah.
And he passed it on to the only person who could be Captain America, because he embodies everything that is this American all-round hero.
Dope.
He happens to be black, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
And that's interesting.
I have found that comic book fans are quite strict about, like, they kind of freak out about casting choices, don't they?
They freak out about casting choices of changing original storylines.
But also changing, like, colors of actors and changing.
Absolutely.
They freak out a little.
However, there's so much, they're not real fans. Right. Because the ones who are real fans know that there is so much within the writing of Marvel and DC, but so much within the writing of those comic books where characters have different sexualities, they change race.
Right.
Miles Morales is Black Spider-Man.
What a good movie.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the best Spider-Man movie that's ever been released, in my opinion.
I know, so
Into the Spider-Verse. Fucking aesthetically gorgeous. The voice acting, mind-blowing. You know, 3 or 4 different art styles all fusing together. And so the storyline, brilliant, etc., etc., etc.
It goes to the premiere
score, amazing.
It was so fucking good.
But this is the thing, is that if they're real fans of that kind of world of art, comic book art, they should already know that changing things up in that way was this, especially someone like Stan Lee. I know he was only really responsible for, let's be honest, about 30% of what was going on. There was actually people who were bigger than him.
Sure.
But they weren't.
How could he have come up with all of them?
Well, they weren't exactly. And he wasn't the vocal piece, but he became the poster boy. But even for him, I mean, he's a Jewish guy, Stan Lee, right? You know, and he was, they had a picture of Captain Marvel punching Hitler when as the leader of the Nazi party, when America was still an ally of the German Nazi regime.
Love it.
Prior to the World War, where they had to,
obsessed with that.
Like, isn't that crazy?
I love
everyone was in outrage. How can you have Captain Marvel punching the leader of this country that we're currently in support of? And it was because because that guy's a fucking sociopath.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry.
He wants to. And then as time went on, suddenly they realized. So it was almost like comic books. They were woke before people were woke, for want of a better phrase. I fucking hate that phrase.
There were some people
involved
involved who were smart.
There you go. Or some people who were underrepresented or had to. It's just an interesting concept. So for me, I think we've now societally almost become so like only gay actors can play gay roles. If you're a straight guy, you can only ever play straight roles. I know. And that's fucked.
It does feel like nowadays people are regressing into this really strict way of thinking. I was just thinking about how Ralph Lauren, he was originally named Ralph Lifshitz, and like it's like the preppiest, most Christian fashion line. It was done by this Jewish guy from the Bronx. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with that. It's like there's so many more blurred lines than people even remember or think about. It's like we're all the same. And you think of it whenever you think of like all the gay people, like just so many gay people from history who you didn't even know were gay, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the guy who
plenty who
invented
still are.
guy who invented the computer, you know?
You know what I love more than anything is for every rapper in the world who's in the closet, and I'm pretty certain there's a number of incredibly high profile
I have gay friends who
guys.
thought that Lil Nas X coming out was so about marketing. I thought it was so cool. I was so impressed with that. Like that he
I
came
didn't even
out.
know he'd come out.
He's gay, man. He came out at the height of his popularity when he like right around the time it was announced that he had the number one, I guess the longest number one song of all time or something,
A black rapping cowboy
with incredible style.
with incredible style who loves a bit of cock. That's fucking wonderful. He's a superhero.
Wait, what does he say? It's like, my life, horse riding and boobies. So he was playing a character. My life is a movie, horse riding and boobies.
Maybe he just respects the booby.
No, of course.
Gives you life, gives you nutrition.
I've been trying to build my boobies.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they're kind of flat.
What would be your ideal role? Tomorrow you get told, hey, congratulations.
Well, I was thinking about that, and that's what I was trying to tell you before, is that like, I just want a lead role, and it really anything would be so exciting to me.
No, but you know what kind of genre, there might be something, what are you really drawn to?
I'd want it to be something I couldn't even think of, you know? No, I mean, I would want it to be maybe something really serious or something.
So maybe playing a famous character from history?
That's not something I thought of. Something really almost boring. Like something like like a lawyer or somebody who works in an office. Like just the life of like the small life of somebody who is typically not celebrated, you know?
But then the story, obviously, goes around them.
Just the story of a person. I don't know. That's kind of what excites me the most.
Are you sure this is not just you caving to the pressures of Jewish parents and just going like, come on, you could be a lawyer. Well, I can play a lawyer.
Yeah, really.
And he's straight, mum.
No,
Are
my
you
parents
finally
were
happy?
actors. No, my parents were actors. They're totally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they came to New York to be actors back in the day.
And isn't it funny? Maybe that's a way that we're very akin. My mum, English and drama teacher.
No way.
In secondary school.
Holy
taught
fuck.
theatre study. English literature and theatre studies what she taught.
Oh my God.
Loved theatre. Took me to the theatre every weekend.
Oh.
We used to go to the National Theatre once every couple of weeks.
What's something that changed your life? Was there a performance that changed your life that you loved?
I saw
you just saw so many.
an incredible well, it was Hamlet, but it wasn't Hamlet. It was the one man performance of Hamlet. It was called Elsinore, right?
Oh, cool.
And was it Alan Cumming or was it?
No,
it
he did
wasn't.
Macbeth.
It was David Tennant.
Wow.
Did a one man.
Very cool.
Yeah, Hamlet, I think, and it was fucking astounding.
It was mind blowing.
I watched my uncle in an English. He's a Romanian actor. He was a very famous Romanian actor. But I watched him perform in a 3.5 hour Hamlet once.
No fucking way. Romanian.
He's the director of the National Theatre now in Romania. He was the ambassador of culture for many years.
Your uncle.
Yeah, he's like probably he's definitely the most famous actor in Romania.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's like the Tom Cruise.
He can't fucking help your career? I mean, what's going on here?
I mean, in Romania, sure. If I went out there, maybe. But I don't think he would either. He'd be like, work.
Well,
He'd be like, work.
You could at least work at the National Theatre of Romania.
I would love to go out there. If they ever had an English language season or something,
if they ever fucking
I would absolutely go out there for 3 months and perform over a summer season. How good would that be?
It seems incredible there.
Yeah. It's a beautiful country.
Yeah.
With great people.
My mom's dad's Hungarian.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Basically
Hungarian
the same
Jew,
thing.
sort of.
We like the same thing.
Yeah. Both kind of
I'm
gothic.
a Macedonian Greek Orthodox.
Yeah, that's not so far.
So we're not remotely the same.
No. It's fine.
We all come from the Illyrians, right? Marauding across fucking right? Middle East. Yeah.
And then I'm also just white, you know?
Bit of white. I've got a bit of that too. But I feel like, even though she took me to all these things and instilled in me this deep passion for performance. So from the age of 3, all I wanted to do was be an actor.
Yeah.
I remember my first role was Macduff's son, Lady Macduff and
Incredible.
Macduff's son when I was about 6 years old. I was in an amateur dramatic theatre performance of that, and I played Lady Macduff's son. Yeah, in the UK. And
not in London.
But yeah, in London, yeah. But then what happened is my parents, when I got to university, college level, and I wanted to go to drama school, they were like, get something to fall back on. Go and do an English degree.
Did they?
Go and do it. So I went and did English literature and theatre studies at university and fucking hated it for 3 years.
Really?
Did everything else except that. Yeah. I wanted to perform. I wanted to
but
just
it's
do
still
practical.
English and it's still stories.
But it had so little practical. It was so little practical. And it was only through chance and auditions, and I managed to get into a Royal Shakespeare Company performance at the end of my university.
Incredible.
So that was the start of professional work.
That launched you.
It didn't, but it was a start of professional work.
Well,
I did
we don't
one
know.
show for a period of a couple of weeks.
That's amazing.
But in the same way that your mother is an actress and
Sure.
was passionate about acting,
They live
and
vicariously
still
through me.
almost sometimes says things to you, you're like, did you really love this? Like, how can you say shit like that to me?
I know. I think she just thinks she's obsessed with me and thinks I'm the most brilliant actor, and she wants me to play everything.
Okay,
So
all right.
I have it. I guess in a way I have been.
So
I've
it
kind
comes
of,
from a place of love and belief in you.
Oh my God, yeah. She just wants me to be a huge star.
Okay.
And I have like cornered this market on playing like a gay bestie to a woman, and it's been so fun. But yeah, I wonder if there's something in what she's saying that I could take to heart and be like, no, I'm gonna actually do something different next time. I'm not gonna.
I think you
take that role again.
are also a working actor
Exactly.
who has a responsibility to pay his fucking rent
I'm
or
so
mortgage
grateful. I know.
and succeed. And realistically, if someone offers you a job and it's a gay role, you're not going to turn it down on the principle of, well, I think I should really give a straight
Well, that's
role
what I'm
a
saying.
try
Not even
now.
gay roles, just roles where it's like the sidekick. It's like maybe, and I don't know what that means. I think if anything, it's just a frame of mind where I'm like maybe more ambitious in some way. I feel like I used to be more ambitious when I was
Look
younger.
at someone like Zach
Do you ever feel that?
Galifianakis, though. Zach Galifianakis, I know it's called comedy and
No,
you do a lot
that's
more drama,
his
but
career is a dream.
But there's a guy who plays the protagonist in multiple movies.
My God, is he just unbelievable?
And he's definitely not like, you would find him, you would typecast him as the funny best friend.
Sure.
Which he did for a number of years.
But he's quite,
and now he's a
quite
protagonist.
affectingly poignant too.
Dude, have you ever seen Baskets?
Oh, I'm
It's
obsessed.
fucking incredible, right?
Unbelievable. And Martha is so good too.
It's a
She
very,
is
I mean, the whole
extraordinary.
cast is amazing.
I know.
right?
Oh my God.
But then who's the guy who plays the dad?
Yeah, it's Louis. Louis.
Wasn't he caught up
or
in a
the
little
mom.
bit of something lately?
Oh, was he?
Thought he was caught up in something.
I don't know who plays the
Maybe
dad.
I'm accidentally me tooing someone who hasn't been.
Sorry, canceled.
Sorry, cancelled.
Not my
you've
fault.
been cancelled. That's it. You're out now. Sorry, I put that rumor out. That, by the way, I would have to fact check that because I think I might be making that up. I just thought there was some story about him being a little bit sexually aggressive.
It is interesting how straight guys, like, when they're hitting on girls, they're suddenly like, oh, sorry, am I me tooing you? So they like put
Do
it
they
out
say
into the
that
air
now?
before anybody else says it.
So my hashtag almosting.
Almosting. Well, they just say it so they can continue to then hit on you.
That whole, I mean, I feel like we're now going to this weird pendulum swing right now.
Right.
It was
It's always a
infinitely
backlash.
this way, and every man was a piece of shit, and blah 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 blah. And then it kind of went. Then it was a bit of like, oh, actually, maybe some of these statements are not quite true, and maybe some of these accusations are false, and that's come out, and
Is that
blah
true?
blah. Yeah, I mean, there was things like, I think the start of that was the Aziz Ansari story, where it was like this man did nothing wrong,
Yeah.
got consent at all points throughout this date, but what he was a shitty date.
Right. It was like kind of everybody was so ready to run the car over him, and then the brakes kind of went on.
Well, and then people
went.
bystanders went, whoa, hang on. This guy doesn't need to be run over. He didn't do
It's
anything.
kind of just the story of like a bad date.
Yeah.
It's like not fun, maybe for either party.
Yeah. But I mean, it comes out of it that he actually came out like, but that was the start, I think. And then on a personal level, I know people who have been in trouble because someone just decided they wanted to try and ruin their lives.
Really?
But then the law protected them. So, but then if they had been performers, would their careers have survived that?
Right.
And the answer is probably no.
Yeah.
And now we're getting to a place where I think there's a huge amount of back and forth because people are like, absolutely. Be
I think
an
the
ally,
back
be
and forth is.
supportive.
I think a lot of the back and forth is because of how strongly we condemned the first people we canceled. Because
Yeah.
I think it can be dangerous when you think about how much we condemn them as monsters. But it's like we are all human beings. We could do anything that those people could do.
Well, it's when people pull up tweets from James Gunn from 10 years ago
Oh right, that
and
was
try and
kind of
lose their
dumb.
job over that, and
That
it
seemed
happens.
pretty dumb, didn't it?
And then, even though he apologized,
He got
had
his job
deleted
back,
them
didn't he?
previously, and now he got his job back. But also, why was that even a thing? Why was there even a period where anyone?
I think people condemn
stock in
others
it.
because it's like you're evil and I'm good, and maybe if I take
Virtue
all my
signaling,
but also if I maybe it's like I can put everything in my head that might be evil, I can like put it onto
project
you.
it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's like finding scapegoats in the culture. Yeah.
Do you find the process of being an actor in Hollywood and now the level you're at where you're doing big shows? I know you're calling it a small little cult thing, but you're doing a decent show with a very impressive.
Decent.
This is a solid, like,
It's an amazing show.
mate. Like, look, everyone is at different levels, right? It's all relative to what you want. I'd kill for a fucking Netflix series starring with Christina Applegate.
I still would kill for this show.
You know,
I just when you say big, it sounds like a big production, and it felt like a very intimate production.
Okay,
that's all I'm talking about.
A successful
just taking issue with your
series. How about that? A successful hit series.
Now that I can get down
on a
with.
major platform.
I think that's accurate.
There you go. A successful hit series on a major platform. When you get to that, like, are you at a point? Do you still enjoy being an actor, or do you think this job has now become so heavily influenced and almost marred by all of the drama outside of the drama that should be happening on set? Is it frustrating to be an actor now?
No, I mean, I think people say this, but I feel it so strongly that like everything around it is stressful and nerve-wracking, and well, sometimes you feel stressed, but the time in between they call action and cut is bliss. Don't you? You know, it's like that's just effortless, and so.
I like how you're going to say, "Don't you agree?" But then you realize you were like, "I don't even know if he's been working for a while, so I'll just."
That's not what happened.
You're like, "Don't you?" Actually,
I wasn't sure if you were going to agree with me, so I didn't want. I wanted you.
I do agree with you.
It's like just that's
it's
the
like
only part.
Stand up as well. The only time I'm happy, generally in life,
and then as
really
soon as
happy is when I walk on stage.
And like the 5 minutes before are hell.
Oh yeah. And then when I come off stage, I'm immediately going, oh, shit, and fucking hate that. People were laughing throughout. They loved it. No, I didn't feel good about that bit, and could have had it. I was a bit slack, and I swore too much in that gag. Why would I do that? Blah, blah, blah.
I know. That's exactly the way it is for me. And it's like, it's the only reprieve from nervousness is when I'm actually doing it.
God, it's great, isn't it?
It's so fucking great.
But
I've been lucky, and everything I've done has been really kind of easy and effortless just because everybody's been cool.
How long have you been in Hollywood?
Well, I've been here for a year.
Wow.
But I've done a lot of stuff. I did a pilot before Dead to Me, and that was so fun with Diablo Cody. She wrote it.
Who's that?
She wrote what's it called? About the girl who's pregnant and she has the baby. Juno, yeah. Which is so good. And she did Young Adult with Charlize Theron.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
Which I absolutely love. And she did the more recent one with Charlize Theron about she has a baby and she's a little postpartum depressed. And anyway, it's excellent. And she has a young woman come and help her.
I know what you're talking about.
It's just excellent. Anyway, everything she does is brilliant. But so she wanted a family sitcom.
Right.
And we were all there like, really? You wanted to have a family sitcom? She's like, oh, it's been my dream forever.
And also, it's been my dream to earn residual checks on a show that runs for 24 seasons.
We wanted to do it for the rest of our lives. We were so excited. It was Donald Faison from Clueless, Yvette Nicole Brown from Community, brilliant Broadway actress named Leslie Margarita. We wanted to do it forever.
I turned down a sitcom at the end of last year for Nickelodeon.
Did you really?
For a 5-year contract.
Why?
Because it was so restrictive.
Yeah.
It was like, any stand-up you do on TV, we have to okay the material.
Wow.
Anything you write for 5 years, we have first refusal.
They own
to
you.
produce. Yeah, it's like, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Fair play. I'm not angry with them.
Yeah, sure.
Because you have to.
That would be a conflict of interest.
Yeah, you got to do the contracts you want to do. I get it. And it's a children's network.
And if you're talking about eating ass, you know.
Yeah, this podcast would probably have to disappear into the ether immediately.
Go on pause.
Yeah, I think they'd probably ask me to delete all the episodes. So we turned it down, and then they auditioned a load more guys, and then they brought me in again and offered more money.
Stop.
And for the same contract.
But honestly, how dope. Did you feel so cool?
I feel like a little regretful about turning it down.
Sure, of course, you're going to feel a little bit of that.
But it didn't get picked up for a season.
Oh, how beautiful. But
also, if I'd been in it.
True. It would have gone, clearly. But also, your regret now is nothing compared to the regret you would have felt if you
Absolutely. If I'd watched the guy who played the dad in the sitcom just go from strength to strength, become one of the most successful actors of all time. But here's the deal. It's like,
No, you wouldn't be able to do stand-up. I mean, it would
It's
just
such a weird thing because that's a job. If someone came and said to me, we want to give you a sitcom, the Jeff Leach, fucking everybody is mildly interested in Jeff.
ready for you.
Yeah.
It's a good title.
And I go, yeah, thanks. And I go and do the show. I don't know if I would like that. I think a sitcom would be, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot.
Well, I'll try to change your mind a little bit because it's like the most ecstatic experience of my life. I mean, as a live performer yourself, it's like you're in a play, but you only have to do it once. You don't have to like settle into a run. It's uproariously hilarious, and then the audience is screaming for you, and you can do the kind of tiniest little thing, and they pick up on it because it's caught by the cameras, and they're watching a screen, so you don't have to like project or emote or anything. And then they give you a alternate line after they call cut, and it's even funnier. It's It's like the best. It's like the best experience of being in a play with none of the bullshit.
Fuck.
It's so.
And also, look. Ray Romano, right?
Sure.
When I first moved to New York City, other than Seinfeld, I'd say Ray Romano is probably the most famous sitcom actor maybe of all time.
Or maybe Tim Allen,
Cheers.
too. Yeah.
Tim Allen, Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, fair. Ray is
That's fair.
bigger.
But Ray, I mean, everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah, that was fucking huge.
It's huge. It's still played in every country around the world on constant repeat.
Right.
And it's like astounding work.
Mm-hmm.
He did that for God knows how many years, right? Maybe 7 years of it. He's still racking in. You come in, it's all right, won't pick it up. I like how quiet you're trying to be. And trying to like, he's trying to like, he gets his millions and millions and millions of dollars of checks every year just for having done that show years ago.
Yeah.
And he now has been in, vinyl. I know it didn't pick up didn't take off, but he's been starting to do these cool projects. Vinyl. I think he's in the new Scorsese movie as well, right? He's getting to do The Irishman. He's getting to do all these really fucking
You're
cool
like, now he's
bits.
free.
He's like, he did that, racked in the money, bought the fucking mansion, paid for his kids' schooling 20 times over.
It was like a decade of his life?
Exactly, for a decade. And then went, I'm a good actor. And he is a really good actor. And then he's like, I'm a good actor. I'm going to now go and do the projects that I want to do.
Yeah. But in no way am I would do it. I feel like I would do it forever. But I don't know. Maybe I would... maybe I'd be a curmudgeon at the end and be like,
how old
get
are
me
you?
the fuck out of this. And you think of Constance Wu, who's like, oh, get me the fuck out of the show.
How old
I'm
are
34.
Now? You're 34. Okay, so I'm 35.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm 34. Fuck. I forgot my
Why
age.
are you aging yourself?
In February.
Don't say you're 35.
Am I 35 now?
Are you Pisces?
I'm born 1984. I'm 35 now.
You're 35.
I thought I was 34.
You just thought you were 34 for a good 30 seconds.
Tried to youth myself up.
Are you Pisces?
No, Aquarius.
Oh, close to me.
I can swim.
I'm March.
I'll swim.
You can swim inside of me because I'm a fish.
Like that anus on Hollywood Boulevard. Yes. I'll swim back inside
You'll swim
of you.
up inside my fish's rectum.
But if I look at it, I go like, all right, look, the days, because it's funny working out these things of what we really want to do and marriage, making a marriage between that and what we can do and what we should do, and etc. There's three things for an actor. Here's what we should do so I can pay my fucking rent, I can live, and I can continue doing this thing I love doing for the rest of my life.
Here's what we could do.
Here's what I could do if I had the opportunity, and how do I
know I could do it.
And here's what I want to do in an ideal situation. Those are three different things.
Sure.
And realistically, at the ripe old age of 35, I go, I am never going to be the young, handsome lead male.
Right.
I can be the handsome lead male in his 30s, but I'm not young enough to be the young pinup. Like, there's never going to be a time where 22-year-old girls
the male
are
stars,
sitting at home with pictures of me on their wall.
I don't think that that's true. I think that male stars are christened at like 40 now.
Oh.
I think you still have
That's
a shot.
the George Clooney effect, right?
Yeah, it's George, and it's, Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Got his first job at like 35.
That's true. But here I'm looking at it and I'm going, but what I have accepted, I've gone, all right, well, even though there's certain things I can do to try and get the roles I want to do, aesthetics, changing that, but also, and trying to get fitter and blah, blah, blah. If I want to play a superhero, look like one.
Yeah, you might as well.
But also, if I did get offered an opportunity like that, maybe I should go, you want to be a professional actor, really want that to be your bread and butter, take the fucking sitcom, bro.
Take the goddamn sitcom,
Take the sitcom, do it. Knuckle down.
You also could learn so much.
Learn, be on set every day, build relationships, work your ass off, earn some fucking serious money. And then when you come out of that, go, right, now I'm going to get my friends and you're going to play a straight character.
Exactly. All of our, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Max will play straight.
I'm going to take all my talented friends. We're going to write our own movie.
Yeah.
And we're going to just fucking shoot.
We'll get a studio behind us.
do a nice little indie flick.
Or
You
sure,
know?
yeah, it could be an indie, but we could get money for it too
Yeah,
because you're
there you go.
famous now.
Yeah. It really
Oh
is
right,
that
you could
thing.
use your own money. You could be like self.
So what you're saying is I should have taken the job.
No. Under no circumstances. I don't think you should have done the Nickelodeon job.
No.
I think it's brilliant that you didn't. And like the fact that you booked that, you're going to get another one. It's so clear that you shouldn't be doing that.
I mean, it's been a few months.
I mean,
It's been 8 months.
that's a very kind of particular situation. I don't think most people find themselves in that situation.
Yeah.
And you look at the guys on the Nickelodeon show, and it's like the life is gone from their eyes. I mean, that's different. And I wonder if you could get bad habits too from being in a huge, like a fucking cartoonish Disney or Nickelodeon sitcom.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I love That's So Raven. Oh no, That's
The
So
show
Raven.
was well written, actually. I
Was it
really,
really?
I really loved the writing on the show.
Well, that doesn't matter.
And I
Nobody
really
would
liked
have
the
ever seen it.
premise.
So.
I don't know how much I should say about it, but like I really liked the writing. I really because they might develop the project.
Was it like a
another
young
time.
woman protagonist?
There were kids and their stories, and there was it's actually one of the first Southern Asian young
Absolutely.
female characters in it. Yeah, it was great. It was doing new things. It was representing girls and boys who hadn't been represented necessarily
Sure.
before, and it was a really cool premise. And I really like lots of. I would have loved to do the project.
You would have enjoyed
If they
it for
said-
a good season.
Do what you like with your stand up, and if you write stuff,
I
that's
can't
yours.
see how you could have made that work.
No,
I just don't
so.
think that's possible.
But this is what I'm saying. Maybe you just go, hey, for 5 years I'm not a stand-up. I'm a successful TV actor. No,
But are you really? And how much money can you really make at Nickelodeon? Nickelodeon is not going to buy you a yacht. Am I right?
it was just a funny turn of phrase. Like, are you really good, successful TV
Come
actor?
on.
That's right. Come
No,
on,
I'm
Sam.
really asking. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what's a good rate for a fucking episode.
I don't know if Nickelodeon. I bet they had you over a rock.
Let me do it like.
Are you going to put down
here.
a piece of paper? Okay, that's
episode.
pretty good.
That's good for an ep.
Yeah, when starting out, it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I
Wait,
didn't know
but
they were paying.
that's.
I know, and then 3 zeros after.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I know. It's impressive. I'm happy.
Yeah, not. Okay, just
Okay, you should have done it
Yeah. Just
No.
that total. Can you imagine? 0.00
for the whole series.
Yeah. Technically, I'm paying them.
No, it's
'cause
one lump
I'd
sum,
spend
which
that
I
on one
love.
cab then. Yeah. I'm glad. It's nice to get advice from
I
someone
also-
who's further along in their career. You know, I think that's
Advice.
nice.
Yeah, I'm really giving you advice.
No, you are. You
No.
are. You're giving me insight and advice. I think. Look, I've been very fortunate in the last 6 months, especially, or actually 2-3 months, especially, to make friendships with 3 actors that are very well, now yourself included. But this is what I'm saying. I'm very honest about our relationship. We have a very new friendship that's just
Right.
starting. This is the longest conversation we've ever had.
That's true.
So, but it's a start. It's great, and it's
Yeah.
wonderful, and something I'd like to build on. Honestly,
Okay, thank you.
but I think
Because
that
I'm already ready, so I'm glad you're
ready?
I'm glad
We're
you're
in.
finally ready.
embracing it.
Okay.
I've parted the butt cheek, but you're already in there.
I've parted my bush.
You already sprayed me with the liquid of friendship.
I did, and now you're finally opening your mouth to
And
let
finally,
it in.
I'm the child who's
Yes.
in awe and just witnessing it for the first time and going, "Oh, Dad, this is so hot.
I'm gay!
I'm gay now."
Sorry.
But no, don't be sorry. I'm
No,
not.
because you were
I'm
talking.
Well, no, I was just going to say that I've been very fortunate to make a couple of friendships with people who I would only ever have dreamed previously of knowing or
Obsessed
having an
with that.
opportunity to meet. And then finding out
That's
they're very
powerful.
down-to-earth people. They have all of the insecurities, issues, problems that I have had or am dealing with or whatever.
And that never
they-
fails to surprise, does it? Doesn't it?
It doesn't. It's
mean-
wonderful because it's like, oh, thank goodness.
Every time I think that I'll never be able to relate to this person. Wow, another human being. Wow, it still boggles my mind.
Who's someone that whilst
Oh my
you've been
God.
performing that has just one that really blew you away with the fact that you went, oh,
I did a
God,
show with-
you've been through it.
I did a show with Deborah Messing.
Okay.
She's one of my dearest friends now. I mean, she is the fucking coolest person. She plays Grace in Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Ever heard of it? I went to see a taping the other day, and it's just crazy to see my friend do this, like give a legendary comedic performance.
Yeah.
It's history. You see,
Because they brought back the TV series, right?
it's back.
And
They
my
did it
buddy
for
Derek
10 years.
Gaines, he's been on it a few times.
Who's he play? The police officer
he
who was
plays
dating Sean Hayes?
the black guy.
Oh, who? Okay, sure.
I honestly
I don't know if he was
what
on
role
mine.
he is, but he's a young black actor and
Cool.
comedian, stand-up comedian
Amazing.
from New York.
That
And
sounds
he,
terrifying to be on that set.
Well, he did one guest appearance.
It sounds like
and
really
it
high
went
tension.
so well, they wrote him into a few more episodes.
Well,
That's
he
good,
fucking
right?
nailed it, obviously.
Yeah.
I would be so terrified to be there because it's just all these incredible, just the most talented people, the most brilliant writers. But she is the fucking most down-to-earth, coolest person. And
It's very I
wanted to
think,
be her.
inspiring to understand that all the little intricacies of the mind of an actor, the insecurities, the self-loathing,
that they're truly universal.
That they are really universal, and that it doesn't matter how
To the
infinitely
last
successful
famous
you
actor.
are. Sir Patrick Stewart, by the way, is one of my favorite people on the entire fucking planet. I went to see a Q&A with him. BAFTA arranged
He's
a
beyond.
thing, and he was even now talking about the frustrations, the insecurities, blah blah, but saying like, yeah, I still feel that. And he's like, what, 70? And a literal
About trying to get roles
legend.
that he wants?
Just everything.
Yeah.
Everything. He was talking about everything. And when he was talking about being offered Professor X and stuff like that, and being like, I didn't really know what this was. And I was like, is this even going to be a fucking thing that
I
people
called
give a shit
Ian. I said,
about?
Ian, what are you doing? You gonna do
exactly.
this? I mean,
Oh, nothing. I just have a beer at our pub. You know, they own a pub
Okay.
together. They own a pub together.
why didn't you tell me this while I was in London? I could have gone.
Yeah, they
there.
got a pub out in the. It's
What's it
out. It's a
called?
little bit further out. I'm not sure. It's
Okay.
probably the badger.
Yeah,
and the
the-
badger and
The
sword.
blooming onion.
Yeah,
No,
the
not that.
Queen's knickers.
Yes, of course.
It would be. But they have a little pub together, and they
Unbelievable.
fucking sit at the end of the bar like at least once a week and just have a couple of jars of ale. Legend.
Motherfucker. So they live a little out of town.
I think so.
Because I was walking by my friend's house in Kensington, and she said that it's where Robbie Williams lives, and that's where Jimmy Page lives. They live
Yeah?
next to each other in these like two fortress-like townhouses, just in
Amazing.
the middle of Kensington.
I wonder if they ever like knock on each other's doors.
I think they hate each other because they share a fence, and they're always getting in each other's business.
Do you reckon leaning over the fucking fence?
And Robbie's like,
Jimmy! Robbie's going, fucking aliens are coming, Jimmy. Shut up, Robbie.
bitch. I feel like they really.
He lived
loathe
out here
each
for a
other.
while, didn't he, Robin Williams? He moved to LA
Sure, he did. I'm
and
sure
he lived
did.
in the hills, and that's when he genuinely had a moment where he was like, aliens are speaking with me, or there's
That was in
aliens that
LA?
are coming, yeah. And don't get me wrong, aliens exist. I'm not an idiot.
Sure.
Do I think they visited Robbie Williams?
Like, are you obsessed with yourself? Calm down,
Yeah. If they were going to pick anyone on the planet, I don't
Robbie.
think Robbie's not. Maybe they're huge fans of, you know,
Britpop.
everybody not
I don't even know a single one.
Making me
I just-
feel so good.
Is that?
I
is
just want to
that-
rock
take
DJ.
that?
Rock DJ. No, that was his first huge success
I wanna get into
song as a single, as a solo artist. Rock DJ.
Okay, I'll
And he
check it
like
out.
wore like a tiger print thong in it. He was like, it was very,
Hell yeah.
very cool.
I mean, he turns me on. It's crazy. And I've just got into him while I was in London. My Anglophilia jumped out.
yeah.
And I was looking at the Take That stuff. I was looking at Girls Aloud.
Yeah.
Great group.
All the great 90s
I
pop
love a girl
artists
group.
and girl groups, boy groups. What about boy bands? Did you get into those, like the shit ones, like A1 and Blue?
Never heard of either one.
There you go. You
But I
got to
can't
dig
wait.
deeper. You got
I
to,
know.
that's the second tier.
Do you
have to
guys have
take that. You have to take that.
pedophile managers who like molest the boy group?
100%. Must have been.
Because that's huge here.
Must have been.
Yeah, Louis Pearlman, remember him? He like preyed on members of Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and other ones that weren't as popular.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's
I'm not
dead now.
surprised.
He died in
I'm
jail.
not surprised. I feel like
It's part of the fabric of our culture. I mean,
speaking of that, actually of that, and speaking of what we were talking about earlier on, what the fuck has happened to like Weinstein? Like, do we
Is he
know?
dead
Does
yet?
anyone care anymore?
if you told me he was dead now, I'd be like, oh, I didn't catch that. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Why is he like this?
Is he on an estate in New Mexico?
My issue is like, wasn't this guy the most prevalent sexual predator of Hollywood that had ever come to
Or was he
light?
found guilty for anything yet? I don't even know.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He like, all right, he's no longer with the Weinstein Company,
Right.
but isn't he?
I think it's that the trials are forthcoming. I don't think they've happened
But
yet.
how long have
I
they been
know.
forthcoming for?
Well, because I don't
Would
know
it be
that
so
they.
wrapped up in red tape and legal red tape that it will never end up fucking happening?
'Cause I don't know how many
this is
people
what I'm
pressed
saying.
charges because they were afraid of him, and then I don't. And then there was one huge group of women who
said, yeah.
made an allegation together,
Yeah.
right? It's like it's too long ago. It's been 2 months. I can't remember for the life of me.
And this is the issues
Yeah.
that I have with not just performers, but my own liberal, left-wing, democratic-minded camp, is that we give us a huge fuck about something for a week,
It's a firestorm, yeah.
and then what's the next thing? Oh, now Aziz Ansari
It's true.
ordered the wrong wine.
And it does feel like displacing your own anxiety onto someone else.
It's like maybe we should see through ensuring that Weinstein's banged up behind jail forever.
I would like to check that out. We
Yeah,
should
we
look
should.
into that.
We've got to do some fact checking,
Yeah.
don't we?
Jeffrey Epstein really got it though, didn't he?
He got it,
Got
but
it quite
I don't think he
quickly.
gave it to himself like
No, he
it
didn't.
was reported. I mean,
Right,
that motherfucker definitely was offed.
Yeah.
Definitely offed.
But what's amazing is that his money couldn't save him in ways that Harvey seems like it's saving him.
People think this. Now we're going on to conspiracy theories,
Okay.
and we're already almost at an hour and a half. I could talk to you for another 3 hours.
I feel like it's been 13 minutes.
Me too. What we're going to do is we're going to wrap it an hour 30, because the episodes are normally an hour long.
Can we have to
And then I'm going to have you
pick
back
up
on.
some more topics?
I'm going to
before-
have you back on.
I would love it.
But here's the deal. With regards to Jeffrey Epstein, people think that billionaires are all powerful. You know, your Jeff Bezos.
You think
blah,
you
blah,
can
blah.
get off?
Amazon is owned by a parent company, an umbrella company. And that company is owned by a higher tier umbrella company.
I don't think I knew that.
Bezos is one of the most wealthy guys in the world that we know about.
Yeah, think about the guy who owns him.
This is what I'm saying. There's about I'm definitely a conspiracy theorist, and it's not even a conspiracy. It's like I've done enough digging and researching that I can't conclusively prove everything.
There's really just two companies, right?
No, there's about 6 or 7 families around the world.
Right.
There's a Japanese one. There's
Is this
an old
getting
Nazi
racist or-
gold. No, there's an old Nazi gold family. There's a Russian Tsar family, or old. They used to be part of Russian Tsarist culture.
And each of them own a monolithic
Rothschilds.
company.
Rothschilds is the one in America. Blah
Sure.
blah blah. And they own
Everything.
everything in the world from the top tier down. So if you worked it out, you go,
What is
well,
this
parent
website that I
company-
could read up on this?
I mean, multiple websites, but you'd also have to then go, okay, well, let's look at something like Amazon. If you dig deep enough, you can find out who the parent company that owns Amazon is.
Yeah.
And then basically every advertising company in the world is owned by about 3 different companies.
Sure.
But then it goes down to that one, which is a huge marketing. And there's always something else like, Fine FinTech Limited,
Right.
that owns 12 different huge
Yes.
monoliths.
Something in
those monoliths,
Beijing.
each of them own 20 different huge marketing advertising agencies.
Right.
And one of those owns BBH, which is probably recognized as one of the biggest commercial companies in America.
Right.
But there's 3 stages above that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
So when someone like Jeffrey Epstein gets fucking offed, it's because people at the top go, oh, yeah, we don't want him talking about anything.
right.
Someone's getting paid
He's sacrificial lamb.
150 million to turn the other way whilst one of our guys walks through a door.
But he's also, I mean, he's close to what we can see as evil. I mean,
Oh, Jeffrey Epstein was a horrendous
you have to cut him
piece
loose.
of shit who thought he was beyond the
But you're
reproach
saying that the exact same
of
thing
the
is
law.
happening on a higher level.
I just think there's people above him.
Yeah.
I know there's people
Sure.
way above him who, if they wanted a fucking child flown out to an island, they just buy the island.
And that's
buy
what
the
we're
plane
saying,
and buy
right?
the
Is that it's
child,
the fabric.
and then-
It's the fabric of what we're standing on this ground, and it was created by
Absolute
slaves.
power is absolutely corrupting. And when you have that
Indeed.
much wealth and power that you know if you got picked up for any crime, you make one phone call. That phone call then trickles to the mayor, to the chief of police, to the
So you're saying there was
precinct,
someone who
and
could
you're
have
just-
saved him? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, but they didn't want to. Like,
I don't know if they could have though. I don't know if the
no
fire.
one at the top wanted to save Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
As soon as he fucked up, he what he should have done is not fucking ferry children
been
around to
great.
be fucked.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not saying that there could be people who are these infinitely powerful people who have positive ideas for how they could develop society. But why would that ever be in their interest?
Right.
Because the more controlled we are, everyone used to have a side hustle as a way to make a bit of extra cash to go on that holiday with their kids.
Sure.
Now, everyone has 2 jobs. You have your normal job, and then you have your fucking Lyft driving job, or
You have
your
to.
producing job, or your bit of side work.
I have
here
friends
or-
in theater and off-Broadway theater in New York who also have waiter jobs.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Well,
shit?
I have a podcast, voiceover work, acting auditions, and
wait,
voice content,
as actors, right?
stand-up comedy, producing 2 different shows, a CBD business. That's my side gig.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You have to tell me about that.
But you see what I'm saying? That's like 6 jobs.
Yeah.
And that's just to afford a $1,600 a month rent
Those
in
are
Hollywood.
just hobbies. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a shitty 2001 Toyota Corolla. Like I'm not like killing it,
No, man.
but it's just crazy because when someone like Jeffrey Epstein gets offed, the world thinks, hey, even billionaires will get taken down by their other billionaire mates. No,
he's the exception to the rule.
They think that fucking Donald Trump or Prince Andrew or one of these other pieces of shit who definitely fucked a 14-year-old girl on an island once.
Yeah.
They think one of them offed him.
Nah, absolutely not. Nah. They never could have.
Nah. It was 2 tiers above when we need to make that disappear. Don't worry. We'll manipulate all of the news media outlets, which we own from top down. They own Murdoch.
Right.
So he's up
but
there.
Don't you think in a way they didn't have to really do anything because don't you think it organically the press around him? Really?
No, I think every facet of everything that we do in life is orchestrated
by a higher power.
Absolutely. Wars, international conflict, orchestrated. That's why there won't be a nuclear war. Because those people at the top literally control from the top down everything that happens. It's like a big game of Risk for them. And they know. They go, well, look, we'll have conflict over here because if we have conflict over there, that means we can ferry drugs in from over here without anyone even knowing it's going on.
Well, I agree that there are people orchestrating it all, but there's no one person orchestrating it over them. So these people are all just trying to, they're figuring it out as best they can, too.
I mean, they're always called the Illuminati.
There's no master plan, though.
The master plan is to be all-powerful, all-controlling, and immensely wealthy.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just like wealthy, like you've got billions and trillions of dollars. I'm talking about
all the world's wealth.
You have all the world's wealth split between about 6 different organizations.
Yeah. 12 people. Sounds dope. No, it doesn't at all. I don't want that. No.
You know what? It's a human desire to go, that sounds dope. And there's a part of me that absolutely goes, wouldn't that be dope? But then another part of me goes, God, I don't think it does. No. Because you would hope if you had that immense power and wealth, you would channel it and funnel it into creating space programs to explore the cosmos.
Well, that's the thing. And then didn't
they wouldn't.
Jeff Bezos's former wife, she said that she would give all of it away.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Half of the fortune.
Yeah. She what's the word? Be
a philanthropist. And
but she stood in front of a podium and she promised. She oathed to give it all away.
Really?
To bequeath it all to charities.
Really?
Yes.
Has that happened yet? They gone through the final?
It's a good question.
It's a nice thing to say behind a podium.
I mean, but yeah, it's like the perfect thing to say. It's what I would say as well.
Yeah.
But then
different thing to do it. I bet she'd probably stick a little bit in a trust fund.
Right. She has kids, doesn't she?
Kids, and also just,
But she probably gets enough money from, him every year. So.
Jesus, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fuck. I wish I'd married
I have a story
Bezos.
about one of the cast members of Friends, but I can't tell it on the pod. Just something about like a paycheck.
Oh, man, you're killing people.
Just like
now.
how I know, I'm sorry, but I won't.
But you're going to tell me directly afterwards.
Just like the broad strokes of it is that like he talked about okay, so that narrows it down. It's a male cast member.
I can't believe Joey Tribbiani had
that he was like
a 14-year-old on Jeffrey Epstein.
That he was surrounded by background actors on a new show, and he was like, God, these checks I get every year. Like, I truly don't know what to do with them. At a certain point, like, this year I just put it in a drawer. I didn't even cash it. And there are people around him who are like...
Fuck you, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, that's...
Imagine this check.
Yeah.
And it's just in a drawer.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, that's Illuminati behavior.
Yeah. He would definitely, if he got up there, he'd definitely have a fuck island.
Oh, my God. He would do a great job. But we're not talking about which one it was. We're just saying...
No. It's definitely not Jennifer Aniston, though.
Do you think that those people have access to the Illuminati and they can have meetings with them?
No.
Why? You don't think Rihanna could?
No.
Oh, I think that she has access.
No. She's only...
I think they want glamorous people.
Rihanna is 2 tiers above us.
2?
She's two, yeah.
So she's Jeffrey Epstein's level.
Well, she's globally famous and earns a ridiculous amount of money.
So
Ed Sheeran... Oh, right.
Ed
Sheeran was the highest grossing touring musician last year.
Sure.
Because it's just him and a fucking guitar. Clever boy.
Really
Clever boy.
Yeah.
No fucking expenditure on show.
Fabulous.
Whatever.
No set.
Yeah, maybe probably a big screen behind him, so
sure.
people at the back can just about see him.
Yeah.
His little ginger face. He's
It's me. He actually doesn't have a screen, so he can get his brother to do it. And then,
there you go. Exactly. Yeah. They film him backstage.
So, right. The idea.
Someone like that, right? Incredibly wealthy. But I mean, he's just, all he is a more successful, globally known version of us. He's the level up.
You're right.
But then, so actually,
But
yeah,
when you
let's
have
just wind them up.
influence, don't those Illuminati members want
They don't give a
you
fuck.
to?
They don't give a fuck about what's going on because they know they could manipulate the charts. They don't care about things like the charts. They will.
They don't
manipulate,
need anything.
They'll manipulate how interested in the arts people are
Right.
during times of because that's how you push people towards war.
Mm-hmm.
When out of conflict comes a desire for arts again.
Yes.
So that's why we're thriving
then
right now.
elicits
Performers
protest.
and TV and actors and musicians and comedians. It's actually a good time that all these fucking lunatics are swinging their dicks, their micro dicks over red buttons at the moment.
Do you think Donald Trump was created like how early was he created?
I think Trump is 2 tiers down from those people because his family have always been incredibly wealthy.
I'm going with
but
that.
they're not quite Rothschild
but
wealthy.
Did they create him as an idea of as a dictator?
Oh yeah,
very
absolutely.
early on.
Absolutely.
But I wonder how far back that idea goes.
Oh, I think there's 2 things. I think they picked him because he already had a lot of the horrendous ideologies that he has.
Yeah.
I think he is just an old white racist who fucking wants to be able to just grab women's pussies whenever he likes and blah 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 blah.
But did they choose him as a candidate?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I think they talk to people the tier above him who's a couple of tiers below them and said, it's time for this man to do this. Let's put this in. Let's mix this shit up.
And somebody put it into his brain.
People are becoming a bit too fucking aware of their situations. Let's throw him into the mix. Let's make everyone think that everything is a lie now. Fake news.
You don't think there was any surprise to how it unrolled? No surprises.
Nah, fuck no. Nah. And I think they just went, here's a man with ego who would love to be president and who thinks that's the thing he can do. Let's make that happen.
You're almost religious in your belief in these theories.
Yeah, a little bit.
So you actually are a Christian.
I'm a Christian. I'm a born-again Christian.
You're born again, finally.
I'm a born-again conspiracy
theorist.
Conspiracerian.
Illuminati.
I'm a conspiracerian.
And we live in the city of Scientology.
Welcome to the Church of Conspiracy.
No, you've converted me,
There you go. Well, welcome.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And that means, like a priest, any good priest.
We're going to fuck.
We're going to fuck.
Like any good priest.
What a wonderful way to wrap up the podcast.
And, well, we're wrapping up part 1.
We're wrapping up part 1. I'd love to have you back. I think it was a really interesting chat.
We just got started.
We went all over the place and I loved it.
We started 17 different
These are some of my favorite episodes when we meander through all sorts of thoughts. People would get into it with us. They go down the rabbit hole. And then when they get down that rabbit hole, they find out that in there, it's not a rabbit hole. It's actually the splay buttocks of a homeless heroin addict on Hollywood Boulevard, out of which all this beautiful liquid is spurt
And that's the only way you'd find out.
That's how you
when
do it.
You're inside of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest Max Jenkins is a very talented actor. You can see him right now on Netflix in Dead to Me.
We're starting season 2 in a week.
Oh, shit.
So
Perfect
excited.
timing. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Well, they won't see it in a week. I'm going to start shooting it in a week.
Okay, but very exciting news to be able to reveal.
Very exciting.
If they want to check you out, it's
Insta.
Max Jenkins.
Y'all.
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 Y'all, as in Y-A-L-L.
Yes, in the South.
Max Jenkins, y'all.
It's a phrase in Tennessee in the South.
Max Jenkins, y'all.
Max Jenkins, y'all.
It's Max Jenkins, y'all.
Now you understand, right?
Hey, come on, man. Sit by the fire with Max Jenkins.
Max Jenkins, y'all. Come on, let's turn on the TV.
Come on, man. You gotta watch him. It's Linda Cardellini. You remember her?
It's Linda Cardellini,
It's Max
y'all.
Jenkins, y'all. But there's no it's at the beginning. It's just Max Jenkins,
Max Jenkins, y'all. Yes.
I don't want to be a pedant, but if you put it's Max Jenkins, y'all,
You might
could have
not
been
be able to find
and
me.
that could have ended up being the name of your hit chat show.
It's Max Jenkins, y'all.
You can still do that.
So I need to find that on social
You can
media
still
and
pitch
reserve
that,
it.
and it would be like every woman's gay best friend.
Right.
So rather than getting frustrated,
But also
because your
I want
mum's
them to
whinging
want
at
to
you
fuck
to play
me
a
as
straight
well.
one. There you go. But they would. Every.
I don't want to be castrated as the gay best friend. I also have sexuality.
Dude, every hag wants to fuck her.
Ideally.
That's not an acceptable term anymore, isn't it?
Hag. Like
the
fag
other part
and
of it,
fag
fag hag. That used to be like a thing that people would be like, oh, she's my fag hag.
I guess it's not really, but I
You
still
can't
use
say
it.
that anymore. You say it sometimes?
I don't know.
Quietly. Really, you whisper it in gay clubs.
I say it
She's
as
my
I refer to the past. I'm like, she was.
But now she's my ally.
She is.
So make
Allies
sure you
want to
check
be
them out.
included to LGBT A. They want to be in the acronym.
A as well.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
It's so funny.
LGBTQA.
Yeah.
Now they got a Q&A at the end.
And the asexuals are like, that's us.
They were the plus, aren't they?
Oh, right. They're the plus.
They're the
It's
plus
fine.
symbol.
That
Plus-
can be the allies
plus
as well.
Those guys.
Okay, please.
Well, listen, Max Jenkins Yol on Instagram. Find him, follow him, keep up with interest with his career.
And send nudes.
Go send nudes, dick pics, and pussy pics.
Anything. Yeah, I'm
everything,
open.
all of them.
I want to explore my sexuality.
Check it out. Dead to Me. It's season 1's already up on Netflix. Watch it and then get excited about season 2.
I'm so excited. I think it was the #1 show in the UK on Netflix.
Amazing. There you go. And other than that, just find him on the streets of Hollywood
me.
Boulevard. And
You know what
just
to do.
Follow him. You know what to do. Splay those cheeks. Get on your side. Lay down.
While I'm in my car and I can just...
Yeah. And he can just
Enjoy.
side eye it.
Yeah.
Like I did.
And I'll be playing some Taylor Swift.
All right. I love you, dude.
Love
Thanks
you.
for coming on. That was
I love
an
you
awful
so
lot
much.
of fun. And
So
we'll
you
have
do
on
love
for
me.
a second one.
You do love me even though you don't know me as well as...
Yeah, no, I love you in the sense of you're one of my favorite guests.
I love being around you.
Yeah. I'm not in love with you.
No, I know.
But one day,
Sure. And if you watch my work...
I'm in love with
more.
my friends like Seth, Jay, Pete, Saeed. I'm, Dino, Dimitris. I love those guys. I'm in love with them.
Friendships are love affairs,
But
for
that
sure.
took years to build that.
Absolutely.
But right now, I just love who you are.
I don't mean to be premature.
I love who you are.
I love who you are.
I love
Exactly.
who you're going to be.
Very well
I love
put.
who you were. I mostly love who you are right now.
Yeah, I don't love who I was.
I'm living
but-
in the present right now.
And I
love
count on
the
you as my
present.
friend to love who I was.
Oh, I'm going to play the outro music.
Okay. Am I the one who keeps it going?
It's you. It's all you.
It's not me.
Check him out, guys. Bye.